Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is doing as great as I am this afternoon. Listen, guys, we are going to get right to the point with this one. I believe we spent quite a bit of time on the last one, and I know you guys want to go on and enjoy your Sunday, okay? So we are definitely going to get right to the point here. Now, we are going to be here for a little while because I have a couple of things that I want to play, and I also have some questions for our interviewee. So I think you guys already kind of know the rules and know what to do. But I'm going to put those rules up again just so that everybody is fully aware of what we're doing, okay? Remember to keep your viewer discretion advised. Keep in mind the chat, no disrespect will be tolerated. All mods do have full control of the chat. We won't be highlighting most comments unless it's something that is an appropriate question for the interviewee or something that is contributing to the conversation. We may open the panel for at the end of the time or at the interviewee's discretion, depending on time as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get right into this now. We are going to go ahead and bring up our first guest. Well, our final guest for the Surviving the AFW series. And let's go ahead and welcome them now. Well, before I do that, let me go ahead and acknowledge the people that are here. I do appreciate all of you for being in the chat. Make sure you guys do hit the like button on the way in. And let's go ahead and start now, guys. Hey.
Good evening. Am I coming in clear?
You're sounding loud and clear, eyes. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. I can't complain at all. Thank you, first of all, for coming up and being a guest on the show. I truly, truly appreciate you. I do also believe that your story is extremely compelling, a very interesting story. And I think that it definitely sheds light on the AFW behavior and a lot of things that you have experienced. Okay. So I really wanted to get into those things today and kind of talk about those things, even some of the stuff that you've experienced with conscious energy, because I will be talking about him today as our honorable mention. Okay, so
Okay.
okay, so or our AFW honorable mention. Okay,
Right.
so let's start off with how you got to know the Umar Johnson sector and the AFWs. What's your first encounter with them?
Okay, so this was around the time when, like, after Hidden Colors came out with Dr. Umar, so like the conscious community, far as just that whole movement. So actually, my cousin Sun Bear, we would be talking on the phone, and she would be laughing. She like, "Girl, do you know about this guy named Lennon Honor?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "Girl," she was like, "you should just listen in." And I never really was interested in first. So finally one day I was like, "All right, I'm gonna listen in." And I remember I was like, "Girl," I was like, "he literally is talking about Dr. Umar for hours and hours and hours." Okay. Mm-hmm. So like once so we were like laughing, like it was like funny a little bit, like parody. Like that's the way we were kind of looking at Lennon, like parody. You know what I mean? Like, this is funny because he would have the piano. Yeah. He was playing the flute. So he was making it more comical. So even though he was kind of roasting Dr. Umar, I didn't really see it in a malicious way. That's not the way I viewed Let and Honor initially, because it was just kind of like we were on the phone, we would be laughing just about what he was doing and how he would have all of these people in his chat that couldn't stand Dr. Umar. Okay. So I was aware of the school, but you got to remember at this point, it's still early in the game as far as that's when I started to find out about the school, because my cousin was telling me, like, he's supposed to be opening up a school for all boys. So because me and my cousin participate in like pro, Afro things, far as just learning, and we will be participating in specific book clubs, we were a little bit more, involved in just the betterment of our people, right?
Right.
So that's just where our conversations would go. So she would tell me a little bit about Umar. And then from there, that's when she told me about Lennon. So I was like, okay, let me listen to this guy. So initially, when I listened to him, I just thought it was parody comedy. I wasn't taking it serious or anything. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Like, this guy is literally up here making a fool of himself, talking about Dr. Umar and getting paid for it.
Uh-huh.
So after that, right, me and my cousin would be talking about Dr. Umar, and I started listening. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but I didn't agree with all of the things that he would say. It's not that I didn't like Dr. Umar, I just didn't agree with certain things, right? Just
Right.
about
Right.
some of his talking
Like
points,
most of us do. Yeah.
right? But it wasn't nothing like I hate him. I just didn't agree. Well,
With a
it
lot
was
of his
probably
thoughts.
more about how he presented it. I felt like, you know, he was a bit polarizing for what needs to be done in the Black community. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. Hmm.
I felt like,
Especially, and I wanted to just preference this with you
uh,
because your father has an established business in Delaware, right?
exactly.
And he actually works with many people in the community, and I as well. With my background, I work with a lot of people in the community, so it's kind of hard for us to look at Umar, like he's this great guy, knowing that we never see him, when the grassroots work that we do out here,
Right.
a lot of work out here in the community. And I've never seen Dr. Umar involved in any of it. So, yeah, I completely understand why you or anybody else, especially, someone like yourself who has, a family has established business here. I
And
definitely could
that's
see that.
another reason why I started to kind of be interested, because my father's, well, he had a restaurant, a lounge that was literally down the street
Right.
from where the school was. So it was like, oh, okay, this is in our backwoods. Like, this is
Exactly. Yeah.
this is
Right
in
here.
our
Yeah.
hometown. And my family's from the Philadelphia area. I have family in DC, Philly, so we all up and down the East Coast. So that was
Right.
home. That's very close to home. And I was like, oh, okay, let me see what he really talking about.
Right.
The more I listened, I was like, okay, I understand the argument, but I just felt like he was too polarized, and I would express to my cousin Sunberry. So
Mhm.
long story short, once you click on one video, other videos start popping up in your algorithm, right?
Right. Right.
So for whatever reason, conscious energy just popped up into my algorithm. I clicked on it, and it was the same thing. I thought it was parody. I thought it was like, what the hell? Like, what is he talking about? I just thought it was funny. Like, he would be like screaming, when's the school gonna open? And all of this stuff. Right? And I was just like, what is going? I just thought it was funny. The same exact way I thought about Lennon and Kevin Samuels. Like, even
Yeah.
with Kevin Samuels, the very first time I heard Kevin Samuels, I did not take him serious. I thought he was trolling. I literally thought this has to be a joke,
Right.
right? And when people started taking him serious, I was like, what? Like, I didn't
That's right.
understand why people would take these people like serious. So I wasn't taking Lennon Honor trolling or roasting Dr. Umar serious. I literally thought it was just parody, right?
Hmm.
And that's the same thing I thought about conscious energy. I thought it was funny that he had this big giant screen TV in the back, and he was screaming into the microphone, and you know what I'm saying? Conscious energy.
Hmm.
And I would just listen because I just thought it was hilarious. And a couple times I did call because he had his number. And I remember he started talking about, he asked me one time, he was like, do you know who the AFWs are? And I was like, no, right?
Hmm.
So he left it alone. So then I remember one time I called and he was talking about Cynthia G, right? And he asked me, like, what were did I agree with Cynthia G? blah, blah, blah. I said, I don't necessarily agree with her. I understand her talking points, but again, I think that it's a bit polarizing. And obviously, maybe something happened in her life where she may feel or have those sentiments. And that was it. That was it. And I just remember he would always be begging for cash apps. Like he would always be like, hit the cash app, hit the cash app, hit the cash app, right?
This was conscious energy.
Yeah, he would always be like, hit the cash app, hit the cash app. So I sent them like small donations, like $4, $5. That's it. Okay. I want to send you, actually, I was going to send you some receipts.
Yeah, go ahead. You can.
So one of them I can't send because the file is too big, so I can screen share that one.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
But
You're welcome to share anything you want.
Yeah, so that was the initial contact. I was listening to them not because I necessarily hated Dr. Umar. I just thought I was introduced to them through a family member, and we were literally listening for comedy. It was nothing serious. I wasn't looking to be like, oh my God, I hate Dr. Umar. None of that, right? So I just thought it was hilarious that these people online literally talking about him this much. So then I started to list. Then I remember Make a Change would pop up in my algorithm. And this is because me and my cousin would be talking because I would tell her my sentiments about Dr. Umar, right? And I listened to Make a Change. So when I felt Make a Change, that's when he was reviewing the taxes. You remember when they were going over like how he owed like $100,000 in taxes and stuff. Yeah. So I was like, okay, all right. I was like, okay, so I was like, okay, this is serious. Like they are really like trying to like
get this man locked up.
Like I was just listening, like, okay, and Make a Change was interesting, so I could listen to him. So the way he presented the information, it was digestible. You know what I mean? It was to the point, quick. It didn't take a whole lot of time. Lennon was more like, okay, he's acting a fool. He over here dressing up. He got a guitar. He acting like he's Stevie Wonder. You know, I'm laughing, right?
He's more entertaining, yeah.
Right. So then it goes from, okay, I'm laughing and entertaining, and then I'm starting to find, okay, Make a Change. Okay, this is getting serious now. Like, I'm more interested in like what information do they have? Like, I mean, he says things that people don't like, but my God, I didn't know all of this. Right. So I just didn't know. So then that's when Anti popped up in my algorithm, and I listened to her too. I listened because I was just so interested to find out how they were presenting all this information, and they started to make it believable. Like, like, oh, okay, is he a con artist? Is he a scam artist? You know what I mean? Like, what's the agenda? Things of that nature. And I just left it at that. I was like, oh, okay. I clicked on a couple of videos. I listened to a few of them. That's back then. This is probably her old channel, I'm thinking, right? So the first perception that I got from her was she was just presenting information, right? And the way she presented it, it was just believable. Like, okay, just from an outsider, not really knowing nothing. I'm not associated with any of these people. I'm just a person on YouTube clicking on videos. That was it. So I didn't have no negative feelings for them or anything. I just thought that they were online, exercising the freedom of press. Everyone can do that, right? They have an opinion of him. I did. That's all I thought about it. That's it, and that's all. When it came to conscious energy, he popped up in my algorithm. I thought he was a character. I thought he was funny. He would play his music. So even outside of him talking about Dr. Umar, he would play his music, and he would talk about other topics. So he just didn't talk about Dr. Umar, even though we know that was the brunt of what he would talk about. So I would send him a couple donations or whatever. That's how I initially started them. So it was very, very innocent. It wasn't. That's it. I didn't. That's
Okay.
it. That
Okay.
was all.
Yeah, that's how most people came into the sector too, right?
Hmm.
Kind of watching Lennon Honor, and then and even for myself, that's my testimony too. Started watching Lennon first, and then
Hmm.
slowly but surely, other content creators within the sector started coming into my feed. Anti came into my feed not too far after, right? But
Right.
she wasn't the first one, right? But I started watching her, and it didn't take me long to realize that, or for at least for me, it didn't take me long to realize that something was amiss with her, right? So I just
Hmm.
kind of left her where she was, but I would still see her in Lennon's chat and stuff like that, and whatever. And then I started seeing Max V. I started seeing some other content creators coming in. D. Durrell started coming into my algorithm, and that's kind of how I started getting this other side, right?
Hmm.
So what exactly happened? Like, did you fall out with Anti first? Did you fall out with someone else? What
No.
exactly
So
happened
let
that went
me.
sour
So,
between you and the
okay.
AFWs?
Yeah. So let me first send you these.
Okay,
Um. Okay. Hold on 1 second, T. Bree.
sure, take your time.
So, matter of fact, let me see if I can screen share something first.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say you can share your screen if you want to.
Let's go over here. Okay. Um, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, take your time. Thank you guys for coming in. Make sure everyone hits the like button on the way in. I do appreciate every single one of you being here. As you guys know, I'm not highlighting the comments, but thank you guys.
Remove. Let me stop that. Okay. So the initial. So yes, what happened was conscious energy. I mean, we know what happened. I
Well,
was sent. I sent him.
everybody doesn't know what happened,
Right.
so
So let me speak as it.
yeah, I wanted you
So
to.
I listened to Conscious Energy a few times, right? And I sent him a donation a couple of times, and then I sent him a donation. Now, unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize that I sent him $820. So while he was still live, you know how your phone gives you a notification like you just purchased or whatever.
Yeah.
So I seen that it said $820 and he was still live. So as soon as I seen that, I put in his live chat, I was like, hey, that was a mistake. I
Right.
sent your refund request. So I want to actually pull that up because I actually recorded it. So
Absolutely.
I have it so you can see. Um, hold on, Bo.
What actually happened there? Yeah.
Right, you can. I recorded it because I want you to see because I want to make sure I'm pulling it up correctly. So
No
hold on.
problem. We like receipts, and guys, this
Yeah.
this is part of the receipts here.
I had
Just
to
want to
kind of
bring
take
it.
some searching because this is an old email.
Right.
So
Yep. No worries.
and he ended the live, right?
Hmm.
But before he ended the live, I put in the chat, hey, and I was the last person to chat, right? He ended the live. Okay, hold on 1 second. All
Yep.
right.
So
I want,
basically, just to recap real quick while you're looking for that, you
yeah, I want to
were
make sure.
watching Conscious Energy after watching him a few times and sending him a couple of donations.
Small
Small
donations.
donations, $5, $10, $20 here.
I just sent you some stuff in the email as well.
Oh, okay. I'll pull that up too. Um, and then after that, you sent him accidentally when you were trying to send him. Well, can you tell us what you were trying to send him when you sent him
Okay,
eight
so
hundred and twenty dollars?
it was 820, and I was just trying to send him $8.20, and I
What do
must
you
have
mean
missed.
it was 820?
It
Was
was
it the date? Okay,
August 20th.
gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Ask me why, I don't know, but that's what I did, right? So that was why it was 820. It was supposed to be $8.20 because it was 820, the date 820.
Okay.
And the
I haven't
decimal,
gotten anything yet.
hold on one second. The decimal, I missed the decimal. And that's how
The $820 came. Okay.
right. Hold
Got it.
on. I want to go here because I have the email in here. I just got to search for it. And I could have swore I
Okay.
sent you all of this stuff. Let me send it one piece by piece.
Okay, because yeah, I didn't get anything.
Um,
Unless you sent it a few days ago.
no, I was going through them because I had to search.
Okay, yeah, because I don't have any attachments on these.
Okay, here we go. All right, so initially, once I did that, I waited about a week after I contacted him several times and he was ignoring me. And that is when I made that video. So the first person to actually, I don't know if it was Make a Change or Remix actually reached out to me.
It was Remix that reached out to you?
Remix.
Poison Dog, aka
Poison. Yes. I don't know because his channel got deleted.
Right. He did have a channel that got deleted.
The channel that oh, I'm on the wrong email. That's why I can't find it. I got two emails.
Okay.
So he was I can't remember if Remix was the first person to reach out or Make a Change, but he asked me for an interview. He asked me, and that's when I went on Remix's channel and he just let me speak. He wasn't rude or anything like that. And then I remember that's when Make a Change emailed me and was like, hey, did he ever give you your money back? And I was like, no, right? And from there, that's when I sent him the receipts of
the 820 thing. I have those receipts. I was actually going to play that. Did you want me to play?
You can play it.
Because he gave me permission to play any of this thing. So I have a video.
I sent Remix the receipts as well.
Okay.
He has them in, if he still has that email that he uses, he still has it. He can go right into his email.
Well, the one that you're actually talking about, I have that already. I have Make a Change has journalized that, and he made a really good video with that. So it's not only that, but it's other things too. So we're going to play that when we go and take a break from in between our conversation. I'm actually going to play that video. So
okay, and I have a recording because I want to show where I recorded me looking at his video live. Like I want
that in there. He put that in the video.
Okay.
Show. So that's all there.
Okay. But yes, Remix actually reached out to me, right? And asked to interview me. And that is how I was introduced to the sector, is actually from Remix. I didn't really know too much about him, so I was like, F it, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? That dude took he dismissed me. But the reason why I did it is because he was talking about Dr. Umar. Like, how you going to talk about Dr. Umar and everything that he does, but then when it's time for you to stand on integrity, you dismiss me. So I felt like I was going to give you back the same exact energy. Like, you're not just going to vicariously. And then I also know that people have, like, I know from Dr. Umar, he had to refund people their money as well. So I'm like, well, if Dr. Umar had to refund money, what make you think you're not going to refund me my money?
Yeah, Umar really did have to refund the money from I think it was a GoFundMe that he had. And they weren't having it. And so I think GoFundMe actually gave the people their money back. And there was some other things too that Umar had to give people their actual money back for things. So at least he does have some integrity when it comes to that, right?
That was my point. Like, no, you're not going to sit up here. Okay, I'm going to screen share. You're not going to, you can still play the other one, but I'm just going to show you the raw. This is the raw
video. Okay.
I was like, in my mind, I'm like, you're not going to sit here and make video after video about Dr. Umar in his financial endeavors and what he's doing. I mean, he does have a piece of real estate. At least he has that. But you actually think you're just going to dismiss me, ignore me,
and think $820?
Right. If you can get on, this is where I had the problem. I even texted him and was like, if you don't have the money, I can set up a payment plan with you. I even offered for him to, I offered that. I said, hey, if you spent the money, you can just pay me back in increments. No response, no response, no response. I'm like, oh, really? So you think you're going to sit up here and be talking about Dr. Umar all day, but you won't exercise the same integrity.
Exactly. Right.
Like, who do you like? You think you can use YouTube as a platform to talk about whoever you want to talk about, right? And what they doing wrong. So that's why I decided that I was going to get on YouTube and talk about him and whoever else I feel like talking about. And that's why these people have problems, because I don't know where they thought that they was the only people that was going to be talking around here.
Right. I agree.
Like that's what I be trying to figure out, T Pre. How you get on YouTube and think that you can talk about people and provide receipts, and then when someone exercises freedom of press, which is in the Constitution, you think that you can slander and stalk people as if they don't have a right to express their opinion or their gripes against you. That's why I went that's why I did what I did with him, because you're not going to do that, buddy. All right.
Yeah, and anybody in their right mind would, expect their money back, right? After knowing that, I mean, if someone was to send me $820 on a Cash App, right? I'm immediately going to ask them, did you intend to do that? Right? That's a lot of money to send somebody. Knowing, just from, talking on YouTube. I think that's quite a bit of money to want to send someone. That's damn near $1,000, right? So it's like, I would immediately ask them if that's something that they really wanted, to do. And then, of course, if they did, I would thank them and then, we'll go from there. But I wouldn't just assume that they wanted me to keep that, right? I think that's kind of where I'm standing with that.
Right. And then, I'm a researcher. So after that, I went and digged in. I said, let me look them up real quick, because you already told me about the AFWs. I'm familiar with you guys, so let me look it up. I said, oh, okay. Oh, y'all want to play. Okay, that's fine. So this is something that I sent the remix.
Okay.
So we just
I think you sent this to Make a Change too, because I think this was in his video. So okay, go ahead.
So we're just gonna play it just for FYI.
Okay.
Let me know if you can hear it clearly.
I can't hear anything.
Well, no, you shouldn't. I don't think you'll hear nothing yet. Hold on, let me pause that. Hold up, let's pause that, because I want you to see something. You see this? Okay. I want you to see the message that I sent him. Where is my money? I sent a request for a refund through Cash App because you know that was an error. Please return my $820. I have children. Why would you think I would give a grown man $820? You know that was an error, but this is read more, so we can't go there. Because I want you to see what I'm sending him.
Yeah, right.
You understand?
You sent him $820 and you let him know, like, daggone well, I wasn't offering you $820, right? I have a family. Why would I send you that, right? It's clear it was August 20th, and I was sending you $8.20. And I want you to know that's not uncommon, right? People send people 11:11 all the time, right? At 11 o'clock.
I started feeling like an idiot. Yeah, they want to play all these
symbolic things that people do with that. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted y'all to see that part. This is me commenting underneath. As you can see, the date is August 20th, stream live. I did this 5 days ago, which would be today is August 25th. So he was doing this live and I sent this. I said, can you please refund my Cash App? I sent a request for a refund. So you can see right here, I'm showing you this because I want y'all to see this before he tries to delete it. Now let's see if we can go to the live. All right. Because I'm going to show y'all.
Send me DMs and send me information
All right, let's
telling
see.
me that they will scam my brother Polite.
And let's see how far we can go because I'm gonna show y'all something.
Been accused. And as always, you know, people say things about me. Then Nick. Boy, that's for the aforementioned reasons that I put forth. It's just not in my best interest, and I would be undermining people that are supposed to be working
Sorry,
for
you guys.
in my best interest. So it is what it is.
Trying to get to
the brothers and sisters to see and hear. So
So y'all can see right there. See, you see that where it says kids are the future? So that means that all the money that he's getting should be going to kids for the future. It shouldn't be. See, you see that right there? You see how he called out my name? I made a mistake. There it go. I made a mistake. You see how he said that? Look how fast he's going to end this chat. You see how fast he ended that chat as soon as he seen it? That was the last thing. I said, I made a mistake. I made a mistake on the Cash App. He ended the live immediately.
Love gift. And I just thank you for
look how fast he about to end this chat. I just sent him this. Look at that, y'all. I just sent him that he immediately ended the chat.
That's a doggone shame. And you requested a refund for the $820. And you send him a message because, and I want to preference the story with this, guys. Conscious Energy used to have shows where he would, you want me to stop sharing? Okay. Yeah, Conscious Energy would have shows where he would have call-in shows. Okay. So you could call in, he would have a phone number on there. You can call into that number. I've done it before. That's how I know. You can call into the number and he'll bring you, instead of him dropping the link and having somebody come up on the panel or something along those lines, he'll have you call on another device and he'll have that phone sitting next to his computer or whatever device so that the audience can hear what that person is saying. Okay. That's how he used to do that. So that phone number would be consistent with how he does things. Okay. So if you want to talk to us about that, like you said, obviously send him a text message as well.
Yes. Well, I don't have that phone now. So I sent him text messages and he didn't respond to any of them. Now let me see. Well, that video kind of shows you. So let me see if I.
Yeah, it did. It showed us where the text messages were.
So yeah. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Right. So another thing is what I find to be interesting is I don't have anything to hide. So these people, you know, they act like you're supposed to be afraid of who you are and your identity. You know what I mean? I know some people decide to be anonymous, right? Mm-hmm. But I find it funny that at any opportunity that they have, they will try to say who you are, right? As if you're supposed to be afraid. If you know my name, my first name, my last name, I really don't give a shit. That doesn't mean anything to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's 7-8 billion people on this planet. Like, who am I? We're just one speck of many, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's the fact of, if you pay attention to how they do things, and a lot of things is, if someone's listening to this and they are innocent, they don't really understand YouTube. Yeah, if you do want to protect your identity, you know, you should. But sometimes people I didn't have any malicious intent, right?
Exactly.
So I wasn't thinking about my identity.
Alias, right.
Because I don't have anything to hide. You understand what I'm saying?
I was the same way. When I came here, I was under Tanisha Price. And, you know, it was Catherine Brown that told me I need to change that, right? But, yeah, my name was Tanisha Price in the chats. The shout out to Max V. He can go right into his old archives and see that. But go ahead, continue.
Right. So with that being said, that's how we move into those other people that want to look you up, right? Mm-hmm. So you know how in your previous live, you know, they say if it's public information, if it's available, it's online, it's open, they can use it however they want to use it, right?
Yeah, that's
Hey,
their motto. Yeah.
their motto, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not thinking in a malicious manner, right? Because I wasn't malicious with conscious energy.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't my motive. I just wanted to donate to him. That's it. Out of the kindness out of my heart, right? So I had no reason to even be thinking about hiding my identity because there's nothing that I'm doing that I'm not committing a crime. I'm not slandering anyone. I'm not on YouTube to search for anyone. That's not my purpose. It's just pure entertainment. That's all it was. It's like, okay, instead of watching cable, I don't pay for cable TV. You know what I mean?
I don't think
So why
anybody
not give a little bit of money to the content creator?
Right.
I don't spend money for cable. We stream now, right?
Right, exactly.
So for me, when I support a content creator, that's what I look at it like. Instead of me paying cable, I'll give you a little bit of my money because it's like me paying for cable. I watch you. It's like watching TV. That's all it was. That's it, and that's all. Now, that doesn't mean I have to agree. That doesn't mean that I can't state my opinion. So from there, after the 820, he refuses to give me my money back. Then there's more people. And then that's when I found Photon. I noticed that now these different people are popping up in my algorithm. I'm like, okay, let me click on this. And I was like, oh, I'm about to introduce myself. I'm about to introduce myself to y'all. Cause I ain't afraid of y'all mofos. I don't know who the hell y'all think y'all been playing with. But I don't know why they think anybody is going to be tiptoeing around them because I don't have any malicious intent. You understand what I'm saying, T?
Them being who? Being
those AFW people,
okay.
right? Mm-hmm. So I'm studying, I'm researching. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what this is, right? I see what this is. Y'all think people supposed to be tiptoeing around y'all because you going to dox and put their information out there. Okay.
When did you first come to the knowledge of that?
Well, after because I was familiar with what they were doing to Umar.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So I knew what that was with Umar, but I didn't know about. When I'm talking to Sun Bear, she's like, I told her about Dita Rell and stuff. She's like, she starts telling me that she knows more than what I know. Mm-hmm. She knows more about the sector than what I know. So when I started saying names, she was like, oh yeah, I know this. Oh yeah, I know this person. I know that person. So that just made me start looking a little bit further into, okay, who are these people, right? Gotcha. And that's when I got ticked off because I'm like, how the F are you going to be sitting up here talking about Dr. Umar? You supposed to be. And then he asked me about the AFWs.
Okay.
He had asked me, was I familiar with them?
Was that Umar?
No.
Who
Conscious Energy.
Okay, I see. Okay.
So he had already threw their name out there. And I was like, not really. I know about Lennon Honor, but I ain't really know about the AFWs. I didn't know about that. But
he was associated with them at that time.
Exactly.
But he was, I can't really call him an AFW, but he was definitely heavily associated with that group at the time. Yeah. So
okay, so
that makes sense.
So now I'm kind of like deciphering. Okay, this guy Photon, right? He's doing content. I'm like, okay, what is this? Right? I'm like, what is this? What is this? I'm like, okay, what is this? So I'm just like hitting channels and stuff. And Sunbear already knew about Shakim, so I started to listen in more and more and more, going back and listening, and that's when I really started to understand the malicious intent. So even with Conscious Energy, the beef I had with him was very specific. It was only because he didn't return my money. You understand?
Right.
That's it, and that's all. That's my only
question. If had he returned your money, do you still think you would have been visiting these other channels, or do you think you wouldn't have really had that much interest in it?
I don't know if I would have had that much interest to figure out who they was.
Okay, got it.
Right? I just don't. because you gotta remember, for me, I was just looking at it as entertainment. I ain't really I wasn't that invested in why Dr. Umar had not open this goddamn school up, because I know how ninjas are. You know, people,
Right.
they mess their money up sometimes. It happens. I was like, oh, he just mismanaged the money. That's it. That's all it
Right.
was to me. I ain't
All I
think
have to do is not give him any, right? Like,
right. I ain't think about it like, oh my God, we need to have a campaign. Just don't give him no more money. It's
it's that easy.
hold on 1 second. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's that easy. Yeah, I think that so far, I just want to go over some of what she's saying until she comes back in. Yeah, so basically, okay, you're back. Okay, go ahead. I'm not going to tell your story. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, T-Bree.
No, I was just going to recap that a little bit. So basically, you came to know Conscious Energy. He took your money, and then you started going around and reaching out. Well, people were reaching out to you after you put out this video you just showed us, right? Like Remix reached out, Make a Change reached out. They wanted to know, had he given you your money back yet? And you let them know no, right? So what happened from there? After finding out, that he was not giving you your money back, and what kind of happened from there? Did you?
Well, then that's kind of when I was like, okay, so that's when I started hitting them panels, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I started hitting panels. And then I remember when Conscious Energy thought he was gonna go up on Q Butter's panel. Yeah,
I have that on the video.
He thought he was gonna go up on Q Butter's panel, and I went up there and I told him that he owes me money. Right. And I remember when Q Butter and what's his name, Taz, had basically called him out, and that's when Binary was trolling and tried to minimize my integrity as if Conscious Energy was an upstanding guy. They thought, they were minimizing his actions, and they basically shut him down. And that other guy, Identity Withheld, they try to minimize me. They try to minimize my words as if it wasn't valid. And that's when
it wasn't true. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere no time soon. I'll be around here for a while. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll be around for a while. You're playing. So, and then that's when I got to meet the sector and different people. And that's why I met you. I listened to you. I was like, okay. And that's when LV told Conscious Energy, if he couldn't pay me back, he couldn't do the debates, blah, blah, blah. This. So then I can't remember exactly who, but someone has started to call out Anti, like, how come Anti hasn't called Conscious Energy out on this, right?
Right.
How come they haven't told him to do the right thing publicly, right? Because you got to remember, they publicly talk about Umar, right? Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't you tell him to do the right thing? And I remember she made a video. She made a video addressing my 820. And basically in that video, she said, I can handle it on my own. She basically said, she got it. She don't need my help. That's in gist of what she said. As if it wasn't, she didn't have to call Conscious Energy out. Eyes can handle it on her own, right? Mm-hmm. So with that being said, let me so she went from saying that I can handle this on my own, right? I'm gonna send you something.
Okay.
To now defaming my name and saying that I was a liar and a scammer. I'm gonna send you that receipt.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Right?
Yeah, take your time.
So now I'm getting ticked off because I'm like,
she's calling you a scammer.
But initially, she made a video where she was kind of like, I'm going to stay out of this because Eyes is a woman and she can handle this on her own. She didn't say anything bad about me initially, right? Mm-hmm. She didn't say anything bad about me initially. Let me go and get this receipt real quick, right? That was the initial time that was the first time she ever made a video pertaining to me, and it wasn't malicious. She basically was saying she was going to stay out of it. That's in just what she said. I don't know if she still got it on her page, but
Probably not.
it's, yeah. So I got some screenshots. Oh, here we go. I screenshotted them. Let me send this one to you.
Okay.
So then all of a sudden, this is when it kind of turned. This is when it started to turn, right? Because you got to remember, I'm ticked off now. Because I'm like, you associate with a group of people where y'all think y'all gonna be talking about Dr. Umar all day, but you think you're not about to send me my $820 back. You don't think that it's the right thing to do. You want to ignore me, right? As if you don't have to respond to me, right? Mm-hmm. So now I'm like, oh, okay. So y'all want to be a group. Y'all want to associate as a group, because now I done did a little bit more digging to see what's really going on with this specific group, right? So one day, Rev G was on Conscious TV's platform.
Conscious TV or Conscious Energy?
Conscious TV.
Okay.
This is when I got underneath their skin, because now I'm in the zone of, y'all think y'all gonna go around here thinking y'all the big, yeah. And from what I gathered, from what I researched, they thought they were like the big dogs, right? Like they had the upper hand, and they were the leaders, and they were the ones that were upstanding. And I said, oh no, you're not. You guys are hypocrites, right? Mm-hmm. You're a hypocrite. So I made a video commentary on Rev G, because he was over there bashing, let me see your transcript. And in my mind, I was like, how you gonna call yourself a reverend?
Right.
And it was crazy to hear how he was talking. And so at first I thought he was a real reverend, but when I started to study him, I was like, nah, this ain't no regular reverend.
Oh God, right?
This ain't my grandfather's a preacher. I was like, that's a different kind of reverend. So I was like, why is he over there on Conscious TV platform talking about this lady like that? Mm-hmm. And that's when, you don't remember, they used to be blowing, let me see a transcript, face up.
Yeah, I showed that earlier.
Mm-hmm. All of that stuff. And I didn't like it. And I stated my opinion, because I was like, if y'all think you can talk about people, I'm gonna do some commentary, because I'm allowed to do it. And I'm not afraid of y'all at all. At all.
Mm-hmm. So when you said that probably opened the floodgates.
Right? So after that, I think that's when they kind of was like, okay, now we can kind of, right? So hold on, let me send this. Go ahead and fill in for me while I send this to you, T-Free. Hold on 1 second, boo.
Yeah, sure. So basically what she's saying is, hey, this was kind of the point where, this is where things started to blow up between her and the AFWs. She let them know that they were absolutely wrong. And keep in mind kind of the time frames here. Eyes came in to the sector much later than most of us did. She's one of the newer people to the sector. Okay, so when she came into the sector, she really wasn't intending necessarily to, well, I think none of us were necessarily intending to become a part of a sector, right? I think we were all entertained by one or the other, right? Or someone, someone somewhere within this sector. And, and then, she started to hang around a little bit more, started to notice more things. And then she saw him over at Conscious TV, who is a known place where they are dragging, let me see your transcript, and have been doing that for years, along with other people like Breaking the Culture and some other people. And they've been dragging Larry Reed, they've been dragging Daryl Moore and Marcellus and all these people, just based off of their issues with what was going on with Larry and his accusers. Okay, so ultimately speaking, now we're standing here where Eyes is noticing that this alleged reverend, right, Rev G, which has, well, which now we know is obviously a very questionable reverend, right?
Girl, I don't know what church he part of, honey.
Okay, it's very questionable. Now she's kind of questioning some things on why he's always disparaging this woman. You know what I mean, and coming for her, and you don't really hear her doing these things to them. You just kind of hear about them doing these things to her, and it's just been kind of crazy. So let me take a look at my inbox.
Oh, right. So
I got
this
it here.
is showing you how this is the initial point where she wants to like portray me. She's going to flip it as if I'm a scammer. Now, I just showed y'all the receipt of me. Y'all seen what I showed you, right?
Mm-hmm.
The video.
Let's put this up on, let me see if I can get this up here.
So now she wants to try to defame my character and portray me as a scammer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Using reverse psychology tactics. The reason why I decided to enter the sector the way I did is because in my mind, I was like, how dare you think that you can talk about Dr. Umar and whomever and think that you're off limits from the same exact critique, right? I don't know why they think that they cannot be critiqued through commentary, through freedom of press, which is constitutional. I am allowed to speak on any subject matter that I want to.
So let me clear something up real quick. So with this message right here, right? Was this after you saw Rev G on Conscious TV and you confronted him and you confronted him about, I just want to make something clear. This is after you saw him on there and confronted him about him talking about, let me see your transcript. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Let's go ahead.
So now you're talking about a person that used to be an affiliate of you, because I know that because I've done my research, right? Mm-hmm. I'm also familiar with Conscious TV because I was a subscriber. I've been subscribed to him long. I'm talking about 10 years, maybe 2012, 2013. Conscious TV used to do hair videos.
Yeah,
virgin hair. Mm-hmm. So when I seen this video, I was complete. You know how sometimes you subscribe to someone back from 2010, 2012, years go past, they're not in your algorithm no more, right? Because I'm not looking for hair videos, makeup videos. I'm not looking for
celebrity
slander videos, right? So he changed his content, which means I'm not on his channel no more. But now that my algorithm has switched because of Conscious Energy, right, and Lynn and Honor, I'm going to give homage to Lynn and Honor for actually triggering that algorithm, right?
Yeah.
Now he pops back up, and I'm like, that's not the same Conscious TV that I remember. So I'm like, oh my God, like, what is going on over here? This shit is crazy. Like, this is something. I'm like, why? In my mind, I'm like, why is Rev G talking to Conscious TV? I know Conscious TV from doing hair videos. So I was completely flabbergasted how Conscious TV had changed. I could not believe it. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, oh, how times have changed, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm familiar with Let Me See Your Transcript because I done dug a little bit. I done researched a little bit. I know she was part of the AFWs. I know that she was part of it. Initially, I thought the AFWs were just doing content revealing Dr. Umar. I didn't know that it was that intertwined with all of these other things that were going on. So when I heard him talking about her like that, I was completely disgusted because they were fat shaming her. They were doing all of these things. And I was like, this is weird to me. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you calling yourself a reverend? That's not how preachers present themselves. But I'm still a little innocent in believing that they're actually preachers. I don't believe, now I know that that's not a real reverend. That's, to me, that's not clergy. Clergy does not present themselves like that. Real
Well,
men.
let me say something real quick, because I want to clarify something. He
Okay.
is actually a real reverend. Okay. However, I understand what you're saying. The only reason I want to say this is for the sake of saying things in
The correct way.
in the correct context, right?
Okay,
Because
so he's
we don't
ordained.
want to give them room to say, look, they're lying, right?
Okay.
So no, he is a reverend, but
he's an
his
ordained
behavior-
minister.
Yeah, exactly. His behavior
ordained.
doesn't add up to what we would know as a minister, or what we
Right,
would think
and
a
this is
minister should do.
why I'm
Gotcha.
getting even more disgusted, and I'm beginning to feel repulsiveness, because I just couldn't believe that a person that says that they're the man of the cloth, because we know that when you are ordained minister, you are held to a higher accountability, right?
Right.
Because you've been ordained, right? There's a specific way you're supposed to conduct yourself. And we know that in the Bible, it speaks of gossip. The Bible specifically talks about how you should not be gossiping. So I found it interesting that a reverend that's supposed to be ordained and a man of the cloth was doing some of the very things that the Bible speaks against. And the more that I researched, all of these people were in cahoots together. They were friends. They were associates. Right? And of course, if you're going to talk about Dr. Umar, then I'm definitely going to have my opinions about you and how you conduct yourself as a minister, because Dr. Umar never said he was a minister. You, my friend, said you were a minister, and I hold that to a higher standard any day. Any day, because you put your hand on the Bible to withhold the word of God and to present the word of God and to save souls, and so they can enter into the pearly gates of heaven. And for me to listen to a minister speak like this was completely egregious to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Repulsive to me. It had nothing to do with Dr. Umar conscious energy. I'm speaking as a spectator in the crowd, listening to something that I find to be absolutely egregious, right? So I had to accept that online, I was believing that these people were what they say they were, and they're not. And this is why I became even more interested in the sector, because the more that I researched, the more of the onion layers I was able to pull back in my research. So with that being said, now, okay, we do our little back and forth with conscious energy, right? But now I'm looking at the whole thing, the whole conglomerate of what I see, right? I said, these people need to be taken down. How dare you be blasphemous to the Creator? And the more I researched and seen how the manipulation was used, and I know in the Bible it says, those that say they are not, they are from the synagogue of Satan. He said in the last days there will be many false prophets, and that's what I seen. I seen a false prophet, right?
That's with Reverend Rev. Okay.
Because if he wasn't an ordained minister and he actually was just online calling himself a preacher, I could take it for a parody. But the fact that you actually are ordained and you are on YouTube, you have channels. The church that you go to has a YouTube channel. You're preaching in the pulpit. And for them to act as if they are above reproach, I found to be mind-boggling.
What specifically were you seeing him say, or them say, that you found egregious and mind-boggling? Like, give me some specific examples of that.
Well, the first thing was just how he was talking about, let me see your transcript.
Okay.
I believe that if you are a man of God and you're a preacher, you're a ordained minister, you don't stoop down to the devil, right?
Yeah.
For you, to me, what I seen was a man that was not living according to the cloth, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And it didn't take a whole lot. I didn't need to hear a whole lot. I heard slander and gossip. That was enough for me to know that, you know, to me, that was enough. That right there was enough before I was like, how you gonna be a preacher and you out here gossiping like that? Like, that's not what preachers supposed to do. But you gotta remember, T Pre, these churches are not like these some different churches, right?
Yeah, very much so. Mm-hmm.
So, and then when I started studying conscious TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what he said. That's what he said. So this is when I was like, oh my God, right? I don't know if you remember, but this wasn't the live where he was talking about let me see your transcript. That was the first one that I heard where I was disgusted and wanted to regurgitate.
Yeah.
There was another live on Conscious TV when Rev went up there and they were kind of talking about Larry Reed.
Okay.
And I specifically remember him saying, I don't want to misquote this, so I'm going to say alleged. He said that he could relate to Larry Reed.
What?
Yes, I got
eyes. I encourage you to put a pin in that for a second, and
I got to find this receipt.
Find that receipt for me.
Because I don't want
to add that to the docket.
It's going to take me a long time.
I'm going to help you find it. I need. We're going to look at it. We're going to look at it.
It's a live.
Conscious TV does not take his videos down.
So, okay.
And I could go back to around the time.
Right. This got to be over a year ago. It's a live where it's a one-on-one with him and Conscious TV. It's a live where it's only
I am going to look for that. I will.
And he's kind of like talking about his sentiments and what he's been through and how he's been slandered, right? He's talking about his sentiments.
So, in other words, he told Conscious TV, because let me just give a little bit of background of Larry Reed real quick before we go any further.
This is going to lead. I'm leading you into why they don't like me.
I understand that. But I want to give a little bit of background on Larry Reed for just a second, because for anybody, this would be like saying I can relate to Eddie Long. You understand? Like, I can't relate to anybody like that. But if you would say something along those lines, like, oh, I can relate to Larry Reed. I've been accused of, I need to hear him say that.
Man, okay. See, y'all are better. I got to go back. I can tell you for sure. The video is one where he got up there. It's a one-on-one with him in Conscious TV. It's just them two. It's probably about a good hour and a half long video. But that video specifically, I just remember, like, why would you even say that? Like, I don't like, because
basically I can't relate to that person, because
he's basically giving the sentiment of I understand what he's going through.
Right, because if
I don't understand what Larry. See, my thing is I don't understand what Larry Reed going through, because I ain't never went through no shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, what he going through, most people don't go through.
And let's make that clear. Hold on, eyes. Let's make that clear what Larry Reed went through. Larry Reed is being accused of molesting children.
Right.
Okay. He is being accused of that currently as we speak. Okay. So for Rev G to sit and say that he can relate to Larry Reed's pain to Conscious TV, I would love to hear him say that, because we're gonna
get that receipt. We're gonna put that one in the vault. We're gonna get that one, because I'm telling you. All right, so look, now at this point, I'm like digging and listening. I'm starting to find out, and you got to remember, I'm only commentating on things that I have seen that have been reported on YouTube. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when he said that, it brought me back to the community college. Now I got videos where I'm doing commentary on this, right? Because I'm like, what happened? Because he's relating that situation to how he was slandered like Larry Reed, right? I'm not going to get into that situation at the college that he was working at, but he openly spoke about it. So it's something that he knows about. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to leave that alone. You know what I mean? I'm going to leave that one alone today.
We're going to pin that.
Right. But that's how the conversation went, is because of the community college. And if anybody knows about it, there's plenty of videos on YouTube where you can find out about his community college situation.
Well, I'm going to talk about that real quick because this is the time to speak on stuff, right? So basically, there was a rumor that came out that Rev G had allegedly had relations with some of his students at a community college, okay? It turns out that we don't know whether or not that story is 100% true or not. All we know is that they did, in fact, that school did let him go. We know that. We also know that both him and Anti contacted the police to try, and Shakim was the one that put the story out, okay? They tried to contact the cops to get Shakim locked up, and the cops, there was a video that Anti made, right? I'll put that in the receipt show the next time we come up. There was a video that Anti made where she kind of hinted to the cops being called, but that the cops were on her ass about this situation. They were mad and feeling like, this was a false report that she was trying to make. Okay. So they never really went any further with that because they wanted to investigate her.
And she made a video talking about that.
Exactly. I got that video, so I
remember that video.
Put that in the receipts because
she talked about her.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. She most definitely made a video about that. So this is definitely a thing, and we are going to put that in the archives as far as.
So I'm telling y'all this because I want you to understand why they don't like me. Right. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, outside of the 820, I know all y'all friends. I know y'all work together. I know y'all ride together. Y'all a group. You a LLC. You out here banging. You telling people to call the FBI. I done heard Anti. I remember the video when she called the FBI live.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
that video too.
I remember seeing the video where you
and they didn't care.
Let me see the transcripts. Information and told them people to call her job.
Yep. And they didn't and honestly, they never, the FBI, when she called the FBI to try to get them to go after Flacco, they were literally did not care. They asked her what they basically wanted to know what made her call them.
Right.
And she was saying she tried to give them some excuse and they were like, well, you need to call your local police. If you feel this threatened, then you need to call your local police. I'm not sure what you think we're going to do, basically.
So in my mind, I'm like, okay, you support a person that didn't give me my money back. You out here calling the police on people, and they ain't committed not one crime, right? But then the more I look into y'all, you guys are the ones that look suspicious, and you guys look suspicious. They are the ones that look flaky. They are the ones that look a little weird, right?
Right.
So fast forward, when I hear Rev having this conversation with CTV, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's documented. It's there, right?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was strange how he was so open about relating to the whole Larry Reed, because we know that Conscious TV was very connected to Larry Reed.
Right.
And this is when breaking came into the play. Because you gotta remember, these people came into, right? She comes into this sector.
She been in this sector.
Right? So this is when breaking comes.
Just didn't know it.
Right. So I'm like, okay. Why in my mind, I was like, we know that the video, y'all seen the video where Breaking was at the church. It was like a convention for women, right? And Larry Reed calls out the prophet, the women on the panel, saying that they need to do more and
the prophetic college.
The prophetic college. And you know, the one lady, I remember she wasn't really feeling it. She was like, well, who is this lady? And they end up getting all that money for her, right? So in my mind, I'm like, maybe she feels indebted to Larry Reed. Why she's windmilling for him, because I just couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand, and I made some videos about it. I was like, even if this situation didn't go right with the pastor cousins, right? Why do you need to be windmilling for Larry Reed like this? Like, if he helped you get a little bit of money, I mean, take it and roll out. You don't gotta do nothing else for him. So I started to look at how they were so adamant about protecting Larry Reed. And I made commentary on that. And I basically, the commentary, and maybe she heard it, and that's why she didn't like it. I was just saying, like, why do you need the windmill for Larry Reed? He need to stand on his own 2 feet. He a grown man. Why do y'all have to be minions to him? Right.
So let me make it real clear what you're saying. That way everybody understands. Okay. You're basically saying that you met Breaking the Culture because she was windmilling for Larry Reed, and you didn't understand how anybody would want to stand up for a person being accused of molestation, not even knowing whether it's true or not, but they're just standing up for this person blindly. And it wouldn't make sense, even if you are their friend, quote unquote. It wouldn't make sense.
You would just stay in the background.
Exactly. Like, right.
Until you found it out,
right.
You would tell people, like, look, I know you got these allegations and stuff, but I'm going to have to lay low for a little bit because, you know, I'm not going to accuse you of it, but I don't know.
Exactly.
That's what the average person would do. Like, I just have
to something like that. You're absolutely gonna make.
But they out here. They was, and I said, I was like, you they out here windmilling, like
more than he is, yeah.
For a man that said that, I don't even want to go there with the stuff that he. And this is why I found it weird that the Rev wanted to go over there and associate with them. I'm like, what the? This is when it started getting weird to me. Like, why would you go over there and associate with that at this time? Right now, this is not the time to be associating with this man. Right? And we know that he was probably paying them. And that's when I met Knockout Media. And he came into my chat trying to show me some legal papers about let me see a transcript. And I remember he said, oh, they're all going to get sued and they're all this and they're all that, right? And I was like, okay, but why are you windmilling for this man like this? Like, why? I didn't understand it. And then when I seen the AFWs coinciding with that, that's when I knew that they were even more stranger. Like, that's weird to me.
Right.
Why are you as a group associating with a man that has a cloud hanging over his head, right? So this is when they started to do the I got another receipt, I gotta find it. She made a post and said she tried to say I was anti-LGBT, right? Right? So this is when she started hinting to your job wouldn't want to know about your viewpoints, like trying to say that the stuff that I'm saying online would be so egregious that my job wouldn't want to know about it, right? So let me see if I can find that.
Okay, take your time because that is something I could. You don't have to show all your receipts today, right? Like,
Okay.
these are receipts you can bring me later, and
Okay.
I will put into the docket to show. Like, that's what the evidence room is for, is if, we don't have a receipt right this moment, but we can bring that to you, right? And we'll show it to you, and we'll provide it to the public to see and everything. I think that's a better time to do that, as opposed to
gotcha.
Okay. So I'm writing this stuff down as you're telling me. Like
right.
the CTV receipt we need.
Oh, well, yeah, it's
and then that receipt of saying that you're anti-LGBT, and this would be the catalyst that she would use
right
to start saying, hey, maybe your job should be called.
See,
right?
But I already knew what they was going to do. So I knew exactly I already knew what time it was, because I knew how they move. Like, okay, you're going to try to contact my job. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Right.
Because you were already aware of them doing that.
Yeah, I know what they do.
Right.
Right. But I'm not a public servant, so you good luck. So then now at this point, I didn't have no issue with breaking. I just kind of did how you do commentary on stuff. Like, it wasn't nothing outrageous or slanderous. I never talked to her. At this point, she's kind of making her way through the sector, right? Mm-hmm. At this point, she's making her way through the sector. And I did a little bit of commentary on Vic Cousins, the pastor. Mm-hmm. I made commentary on, she was saying that she was going to get him locked up, but the case had got thrown out. The reason why the case had got thrown out of court is, at this point, I'm like reading the Cincinnati Enquirer. I'm reading like all of the newspaper articles on this whole thing with her and Cousins. And that's when
the Christian Post while you're talking about that.
And that's when I found out about the new wife. She was a Puerto Rican woman that he married. Uh-huh. So the whole time that he was in court, because of this whole situation, he had a fiance. He ended up marrying this woman. So I started to research, like, how she actually was able to bring him down. And I believe this is why her ego was big, is because she actually was able to pull this off, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
She actually, she broke that dude to the point where the church, the reason why they had to remove him or make him step down from being pastor is because the bank had to do it. Basically, they had lost all of their members, right? They had a very large congregation, and they lost a significant amount of their members to the point where the bank had to say, look, he is a detriment to you guys, right? They lost their online followers, and they lost their actual brick and mortar church goers, right? And she broke him. And I believe that kind of gassed her up, as if maybe she was like some like Teflon Don, and she was like tough, and she was going to be out here just manhandling people, and she could bring people down because she was able to do it with Victor Cousins. But come to find out, after all of the things that she has said about him, they threw the case out because it was in the wrong courtroom. So whoever her attorney was did not file in the right jurisdiction. And this is when I questioned her. I said, now, why didn't you go back and try to sue him again? She never did. So I had made little videos on all of them, and they ain't like me. That's what it was.
Right.
They didn't like the stuff that I was saying.
Yeah, she never took him back to court.
Never went back to court. After she got that man removed from the church, they went bankrupt, if I ain't mistaken. It was she did a number on him. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah.
She did a number on him. And I believe that gassed her up to make her believe that she could go out here like she was gonna be mad, like she was like tough or something. You know what I mean? And that's why they don't like me, because in my mind, I was like, if you think you're going to condone him taking my $820. I'm about to do some commentary on y'all. And that's when they started not liking me, because I wasn't going to tiptoe around them, because I'm not part of their group. I don't commit crimes, right? So so she allegedly beat up her child's grandmother, right?
Right.
So
which is
one day,
all on public record. I will show.
I ain't never
I will
heard
show
her.
that.
I thought it was funny that she tried to beat up an elderly lady. I said, "Oh, she want to beat up an elderly lady." Okay, an elderly lady. That's not tough to me, right? You putting your hands on an older woman, allegedly, right? So LV, at this point, I threw
This
it out
isn't
there.
alleged. Hold on. Let me say something real quick. That's
Okay.
not alleged. That's actual fact. The woman. I'm going to play a timer real quick. That way they really do understand this. Because the woman that's in this timer is who Eyes is talking about. Okay. Breaking the Culture has two older children. One's named Aiden, one's named Michael. And the grandmother of Michael, Breaking tried to come back and get him after leaving him with her for like 2 years, a year or something like that. She tried to come back and get him. And the grandmother wasn't letting that happen, because she had literally abandoned her son. And, she had already established, certain things for him. His father had established these things. And they were like, well, you're not really fit. You need to, if you really want them, you have to take us to court. And Breaking wasn't trying to hear that. So she decided to assault this woman. Now, the woman is saying she didn't get, beat down or anything like that. She definitely fought back. But that is. But
she put her hands on her.
Yeah, she put her hands on her.
She put her hands on the grandmother.
Exactly. That is a true story that is documented with actual court records, and I will put that in the receipt show on Thursday. Let me play this timer real quick so that they know that this woman does exist.
Okay.
Although I never met her, my son would come home and talk about this young woman and a baby. But she has a son that's older than my grandson. His name is Aiden. And Aiden lives with his great-grandmother, because the great-grandmother had helped her grandson get custody, and then he ended up running off leaving that baby with his grandmother. So this baby is older than Junior. He would be about 14 right now.
So she has another child older than your grandson?
Yeah, I met Aiden. I met him when he was little. Wait, so Aiden is Andrea's older? His name is Aiden Montgomery.
So you got
that's Andrea's older son?
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that it was clear who we're talking about and so forth and so on. Go ahead, Eyes.
Okay, so I want you to understand why they don't like me.
Right.
They don't like me because I was pointing out the debauchery of it all. Right. So at this point, I'm just making commentary. And LV, at this point, I said I wouldn't mind boxing somebody for some money, right? I'll box somebody for $5,000. I said I'll box somebody for $5,000. I said, let me see.
I remember that.
Right? I was like, let me throw it out there, because I'm like, let me just throw it out there. The hell with all of this, right? It's too. I was like, let me just throw it out there.
So let's put that in context, because for somebody that doesn't know you or doesn't understand our sector, they have no idea what you're talking about. So basically, Eyes wanted to come up with something that would be great content for the sector to create. LV is a content creator in our sector that has debate shows with the sector, and so forth and so on. And like people can get together on the show. They will debate certain topics, and the winner of the debate there'll be a vote for it. and the winner of that debate will win like a cash prize. Okay. Generally, you know, the sector is the ones that contribute to the cash prize, and then we'll make sure that that person actually wins that prize and they get it by the end of the show. Okay. We've had a few of those. One of those we'll be looking at tonight. We'll be looking at a small portion of one of those debates between Conscious Energy and Tiff P tonight. So we'll be taking a look at a little bit of that. But either way, that's what Eyes is talking about. So when we want to do like contests or something along those lines, a lot of times we will go to LV and request him to come up with the contest. So she asked LV if, you know, for the sake of content with the sector, she was saying, hey, you know, I'm sick of, you know, people arguing back and forth and just talking trash. Let's go ahead and put together an actual boxing match, a professional boxing match, right? Between me, because she, you know, she wanted to do a professional fight between her and another female in the sector. And all of us were like, nah, you know what I mean? I knew I wasn't doing it, right?
Right.
A couple of us were like, no, we're not doing this. But there was one person
Well,
wanted to
he asked her. He asked her actually.
Okay. No, actually, that's not true. She said specifically, I'll do it.
Okay. I missed that part. I missed that.
I'll do it, right? And then, you know, that's when LV was like, okay, Breaking, you want to do this? Okay, I'll go ahead and get with you ladies behind the scenes by email. We'll go ahead and coordinate things. Okay. Okay. So go ahead. I just wanted to do that content.
And at this point, it was cordial. It was cordial. It was I remember that I got on his panel and she came up on the panel too. It was like, she agreed to it and it was cordial, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
At this point, I had
for the most part, it was, yeah.
Right. I had made commentary on her, but it was no beef or nothing. Shit, we content creators. We can talk about whatever. We in this, you know, you say your piece, I'm gonna say my piece, right, T-Bree? Mm-hmm. It's not that deep, right?
Right.
And I ain't never talk about her in an egregious way. I just was stating like some facts, like, okay, what's really going on? So LV, he contacted me and we talked and blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. Long story short, all of a sudden now you can see the energy changing. It go from you want me and you want to box to, oh, Eyes is harassing me. Huh? How am I harassing you? I said I will box you. I will fight you in a ring. That's not harassment. So I'm trying to figure out where that breakdown came with her. Where the breakdown came where she started to try to make it seem like I was like harassing her, because I never harassed her.
Okay.
I don't even remember like how that changed. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, it went from us just we agreed on a boxing match to she's harassing me and I gotta file police reports on her. I'm like, no, you don't, bitch. I said I would box you. That's it. And that's all. We just need to get the money together. You going around acting like you know all of these people and you a superstar and everybody knows you. Call one of your homies and get this 5,000 so we can get in this ring. You want to fight grannies and shit? Let's fight somebody that's about your size and your age group, right? That's around the same age as you, right?
Right.
She wanna focus on that. Now it's focusing on she harassing me. So if I'm harassing you, how is it that my work address becomes an avatar?
Right.
Y'all see how they switch it around like they're the victim? How you gonna be a victim, but you're doxing people and putting people's personal information out there?
Mm-hmm.
So 1 minute she wants to present herself as if she's thorough and she's big and she's bad and can't nobody beat me and you know they don't like me, they jealous of me, right? But then it switches to I'm getting harassed and I got to call the police and I got to file police reports. They looking for me. How is this a person looking for you when you're the person that got the addresses?
Right.
How is it that I'm looking for you when you going around telling people that you know what school my son go to?
Yeah, I want to play that real quick because
How
I
is it
actually
that
have that recorded.
how is it that I'm harassing you, but I got a receipt of you telling the people that you know where I work at?
Yeah, I'm going to play that receipt real quick if you don't mind. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Now,
Let's play it. Let's
I
play
might
a
have to
receipt.
go. Yeah, this might be triggering for me because I'm trying to figure out when you had popped up at my job because I have not seen you yet.
Okay.
See, they like
Right.
before you play this, Cyprian.
Mm-hmm.
These are the most gangster victims that I have ever seen in my life. I have never met a gangster that was a victim. I never met it before. I just find it funny that they so thorough, but then they like to act like they the victim. Can you explain that to me?
Right. I agree because it was her saying that she know where you work and where you live when you.
I just said I
when you
wanted to
clock out.
sponsor for $5,000. That's it. And I told her, I said, if I ain't getting no money for it, I don't have a problem with you. I don't give a shit.
Right.
I don't care.
But she wanted to become. She wanted to make this content, this content-worthy story of the two of these ladies, training and going through the whole process, and then having a professional boxing match. She wanted to make this into some kind of victim story, right?
Right, and it was supposed to be a boxing match.
And she started doing certain things and justified it from being quote unquote harassed. And then we're going to go ahead and play this right now. Now, there's a few things on here, but there's a particular part of this that once it's done, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop this. Okay.
You could just completely try to bash my name in so that when I finally did talk, that whatever I said, people would like be side-eyeing me. And the thing is that it don't really matter with the sector thing, but the people that I know certain things about, and those are the people that really would matter, and they would know if I'm telling the truth or not. It would be another Nikki situation. You're the one that was worried about people being recorded. You know, Sultan dragged her ass about it.
Know when I'm gonna do another live. Let's get messy for a second. Breaking has a file. This is how obsessive this motherfucker is. Breaking has files and drop boxes on everybody. If you listen to her talk, you can believe it. She actually saves recordings on a lot of motherfuckers in the sector. She puts them on files. She puts them in drop boxes on clouds. She got one on everybody. She got one on I. She got one on. Probably got one, tried to get one on me. She got one on Anti. She got one on several people in the sector. Several people in the motherfucking sector. Y'all don't believe me? I like to show receipts. I'm not going to show anybody's shit in the sector, but Little Knockout Media got one too. And I don't give a shit about him. He ain't in our sector. So here you go, folks. And y'all know that ain't mine because I don't watch that motherfucker. That's one of a few things that I got from this break-in. And she does have one on Anti. Now, if you don't believe me, click on that shit. And
I'll tell you why I say it works. I'll say this. I'll tell you why. So I've had CPS called on me, right? And I've had ACS called on me, CPS called on me, DTPP, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
No one reached out to her kid. Nobody now, granted, do I know who her and her children and her entire family is? Absolutely. I know who your brother is. I know who your mom is. I know who your dad is. I know who your siblings are. I know who your aunts and uncles are. I know who your kids are. Of course I know who you. I know your bitch. I know where you work. I know where you live. I know what your shifts are. What do you want to know? What do you want me to tell you that I know?
She has shifts? Oh, you mean I see. So she
bitch,
works
I know
once
when
a day.
You clock in. I know when you clock out. I sure do. I know your entire. I know who you are. Why would not know who you are? I did.
And that's fine because I haven't seen you yet, bitch. That's the point that I find to be funny, T-Pre. She knows so much about everybody, but don't you find it funny that they like to call the police? They the most... Listen, T-Pre. I swear to you.
And don't even be calling all the time. They don't even call
who the fuck if you know my mama, you know my auntie, you know my uncles, you know my cousins, you know everything, then that's how I know you're not coming. That's how I know. That's why I find all of this to be funny. They want to act like they so gangster. They not coming, T-Pre. They not coming down the street, T-Pre.
No.
They not coming down the street. You got my, but listen, I go to work every single day, and I ain't listen. Where she at? I ain't see. But my thing is this: if you know so much about me, what is that going to do for you? What did I do to you? I never took nothing from you. I never stole nothing from you. I don't have time to be looking up your kids. I don't have time to be looking for anything to do with you. These people want to act like they're the victims, but they are the ones that have the time to actually worry about other people's lives as if it will ever make a difference in their life. She not listen, T-Pre. She said she know my mama, my uncles, my aunties, all my sisters.
Your kids, she know everything.
Okay,
She know when you clock in, when you clock out. Like how, listen, who has enough time?
Why would I be afraid of her? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like
exactly.
What? Like her saying that says what? What does that tell you? What does they act like that's going to make somebody afraid? They the ones that's going to be afraid. That's why I find it to be funny. You can put your hands on an older woman, right? You ain't about to jump out there like that. I'm trying to tell you some good shit. She might, but I don't think she.
Well, she hasn't yet. It's been 2 years, right?
I mean, my thing is she could go to the Mo 3 sector. They like fighting over there.
She would never do that.
She ain't gonna do
fight any of us. So
she fight old women. She see. I'm gonna call you bluff. You like put your hands on an older woman. You want to throw your hands to a woman that been taking care of your kids, right? But then you looking up how other people's kids, right? Mm-hmm. Like you got the time to be coming to Washington, D.C. to look for me. And what are you going to do when you find me?
So let's talk about that a little bit deeper.
What are you going to do? That's what I want to know.
Let's talk about that a little bit deeper.
Afraid of them. I'm not afraid of them mofos.
Right. Let's
one more thing, T-Pre.
Okay.
I had invited one time. I said, you can come to Washington, D.C. She made it seem like I was threatening her. I'm not threatening you. Y'all mofos try to play like y'all G. And y'all not G. Now you got new people that y'all think going ride. Go ahead, T-Pre, because I'm about to get pissed off.
I know. Let's ride into that just a little bit, right? How did you come to an understanding that break-in was starting to? So you said that you saw her avatar as your address.
It was in your chat. It was in your chat. You remember I got up?
Listen. I remember. But we're talking to people that don't know this story, right?
Yeah. So yes, you had a live. Because before we go any further, the reason. Let me slow down for a second because I'm getting hyped.
No, I understand. I really do. And this is
I knew. See, I know the type of games that they play, and I have to remember, where I'm at because I know the type of games that they play. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lead you right off a cliff. You feel what? I'm about to walk y'all right off this cliff, and I know you from Wilmington. They don't want no problems. But anyway, right? So I go in the chat and I see my work I'm at another location now. So she gonna have to go. You can go look for that location. And I got a pay raise and I got a promotion.
Why they thought you should have got fired, right?
Listen, God working, listen. They probably about to try to up the ante again. I train managers how to be managers. You better get the hell on somewhere. But anyway, it's the avatar with one of my locations. I move around the city. I'm in different locations. I'm not always in the same spot. you stupid dummy. But anyway, so I seen the location. So in my mind, I'm like, how do they get that information? But you got to remember, you got Facebook, Instagram. Y'all got to remember, y'all was on Facebook, Instagram. You weren't thinking about some crazy stalker online that want to look you up for whatever reason because they don't got nothing else to do and they miserable, right? Because who in the world got time to be doing that? For what?
Right.
So that's when I went into your live. I got on your panel and I addressed it. The reason why I addressed it is because I'm not going to stay quiet. I want you to know that I want everybody to know. See, you think you slick. You see, when they dox, they want to dox quietly to see if they can scare you. Like, oh my God. They'll do something where only that person knows that they doxed them. Right. And what happens is if the person is too afraid, they're not going to necessarily say it because they don't want everybody to know. Not eyes, not me. I'm going to let everybody know where I work at. Yeah. That's my address right there. Now, you say you was coming to my job. I'm still waiting. I haven't seen you yet. These mofos think you're supposed to be afraid of them. Why, T-Bree?
I don't know. I don't know why they.
Oh my God! Like,
I don't know why they feel like using fear tactics. Like, you know, I'm going to contact your job if you don't stop saying you dislike me, or if you disagree with me, I'm going to pull up on your job, or I'm going to find out where your kids go to school. Like, I don't understand these fear tactics that they try. But this is what they do.
Why would y'all?
Hold on one second. I want to say this. As y'all can see, there is a consistent pattern amongst my interviewees of this kind of behavior. Okay, we've had this problem for Carrie. We've had this problem for me and Mize and Grown Man. We've had this same problem for Stephanie, and now we're talking about for Eyes as well. Okay, so clearly there is a consistent pattern of them doing this. We've also showed evidence of Rev G actually doing this behind the scenes as well as in front of the scenes. We've showed his timeline where he's talking specifically about what he's going to do to people if they decide to, you know, to actually put in and file a report against him, right? We've seen where Anti-Afro has done the same thing, where she has lied on people, sent out people's personal information, including their social security number, unredacted, their driver's license, unredacted. She has definitely done these things. Okay?
And the question is, they want you to feel guilty for being a regular human being, right?
Right.
Like, let's say they find out that you got a repo on your credit. Who gives it? Who cares?
Right.
Who cares? You got bank. Who cares? Nobody cares. They want to defame you as a human being, like they are so perfect, and they're weirdos. You're weird, bro. You're strange, bro. Yeah. So I would take a repo, a bankruptcy. That's not gonna make me not want to be your friend because I found out that you got a repo on your credit. You got a little bankruptcy. You got an eviction. Welcome to the real world. It happens. Right. But I still wouldn't want to hang around them because they're weird.
Right. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about so after she started doing that, right? What started happening from there after she was like putting your address on the avatars and then the chat and all that kind of stuff?
Well, once I went to that page to see, I clicked on it. I went to it and I found out that they had a page with my name. They had a page with my with the address, and then I reported it to YouTube, and then it disappeared. It disappeared after that. Okay. But then after that, she just started talking shit. That's when she started making it seem like she was telling people that she had came to Washington, D.C. and was looking for me. No, the fuck you didn't, bitch. Stop lying. Stop, nobody's looking for you. Like, nobody, like, you're, what I said about you is what I said. Why are you windmilling for Larry Reed?
Right.
That's what I said, and you ain't like it. See, I know what it is.
So what was the worst part of what of what happened when it came to her and the doxing, breaking the filter and the doxing.
Well, my thing was when you started talking about my son, that's when I had a problem because first of all, my son is at that point he was 17, right? Mm-hmm. And we know that when we started researching the TikToks and all of that weird stuff, that's when I was like, see, this is getting weird to me because why do you need to let anybody know that you looking up my child? What's the point? Like, what's the point of looking up my child? Like,
now keep in mind, this is a woman who abandoned 2 of her children, right? The oldest one will be 18 this year. The other one is 15. Okay, now this is their ages now. Okay, but at the time she abandoned both of them when they were babies. So how are you looking up someone else's children and you don't even have your own children? You don't even have a relationship with your own children. You don't talk to them. You don't see them. You don't even know the names of their teachers. You don't even know the name of their school. Let's be real.
But you got time.
But you got time to look up this woman's child's school.
Where my child go to school at.
Yeah.
You got time to be surfing through his Instagrams. See, when I started to get a little nervous is because I know how they disguise themselves with these kids. And they can send messages through their DMs. And the more we started to uncover the TikTok stuff, that's when my skin started crawling. Like, oh my God, this is weird to me now. Like, bro, you're weird and you're doing weird shit. And if I see you, it's on sight. Like, seriously, because now you're playing.
Right.
They want to play victim, but they're the only ones that are openly telling you, a stranger that they do not know. You don't know me. You can look me up because, hey, that we're in a social media age. It's not hard to hit a couple links and then you can see who's cousins. My family is very big. You're not coming to Washington, D.C. You're not coming to Wilmington, Delaware. You're not coming to Baltimore. And you for damn certain ain't coming to Philadelphia. So I wasn't even worried about that because I already knew that they're not about that life. But now that you're talking about my son, that's when we having problems because now I'm thinking all of y'all are weird. Why? Because you hang with Larry Reed. This is when it got weird to me.
When this woman came from my daughter and my son, right? She started talking about my daughter sexually. She started talking under my daughter's clothes, right? And she was talking about my son. That is the reason for the Vixen Chronicles. It has nothing to do with I was in love with her and I wanted to be.
Nah, you playing like
none of that happened.
Now people
got dogged on the Vixen Chronicles with the truth because she tried to come for my kids.
Well, when you match their energy, now it's I'm trying to tell you, they play victim. You match their energy. It's no. I will never ever have any reason to know where your child goes to school.
Nope.
You guys hang with weirdos.
To this day, I don't know. To this day, I do not know the names of any of her kids. All 4 of them. I don't know the names of their schools. I don't know what's going on with them on a regular basis. I know nothing about them. I don't even know. I don't even know if they have Facebooks or any of that because I'm not looking for the kids. Listen, I'm not looking for her kids at all.
That's why it was getting weird to me because I'm like, okay, see now all of y'all are weird. I knew it was something off, but what they say, the fruit don't fall too far from the tree. She gonna be hanging with Larry Reed and then come over here and then say, oh, I hang with Rev G. Okay, see now I'm done. How is like this is when I was scratching my head I was like, she a beautiful woman. Why is she hanging around these weirdos?
I don't know.
And she don't wanna hear constructive criticism. Like, why are you hanging around these type of people?
Well, I mean, when you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas, right? And misery loves company and all those wonderful sayings that they say about people, birds of a feather flock together, that kind of thing. She's just like them. She actually fits right in with them.
And it's very, I mean, this is the thing, right? You know, a lot of it is, oh, they're jealous of me and I'm a model and I'm this and I'm that. But
what about the model? Let's talk about that modeling thing real quick.
If that was the case, why do you give energy to looking up people's kids and
exactly?
Like, why? You should be on the cover of some, like, where are your photo shoots at? Like,
how come we don't have any credentials of this? We have no credentials. And I dare her to this day. I did the Vixen Chronicles a year ago. I said in the Vixen Chronicles, you have the time, you have the space and the opportunity now to show everybody where all these modeling credentials are. Because from what I heard, she had been telling she'd been trying to use this one specific name, and they threatened to sue her and said, if you don't stop using our name, you're going to find yourself in court because you are not a model for us. Okay. And she stopped doing that. Yeah, that happened.
I mean,
yeah, that happened. And she stopped using their name. So Breakin does not have any modeling credentials. Her name is Andrea Nicole Garrison. You can look her up. She does not have any modeling credentials anywhere. But yet she has time to be looking up everybody's stuff.
Well, the thing was,
and keeping drop boxes on everyone too. Shout out to Triggs because he has those receipts.
So for her, right, the reason why they came after me is because when I did the 820, I didn't leave it at the 820. You understand?
Right.
I dug into all of those people. And if they and they didn't like it, and they think that people are supposed to be afraid of them, and I'm not afraid of them.
Well, when you say dug in, I want you to be clear what that means. Do you mean you were arguing, or you were telling them about themselves, or you were literally digging in their past like they did?
I was digging in. I was just researching and doing commentary. I wasn't doxing them.
Okay, thank you. I wanted that to be clear.
I clicked on articles just the way they click on articles. I clicked on videos just the way they clicked on videos. And what I seen was weird. What I seen was strange. What I seen was odd. That's what I thought about these people. And I thought that it was kind of crazy that they thought that they were going to have the upper hand in trying to destroy people's lives. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly why I said what I said about them, and they didn't like it. And that's because they're used to people, well, some people, and it's not a whole lot. That's the crazy part. Mm-hmm. It's not a whole lot, but it's enough where they can push it. They can push a rhetoric of slander and trying to convince people that you are, not an upstanding citizen, and you don't deserve to have a job, or you don't deserve this, and this should be taken away from you. Like they're God, like they have a God complex. Mm-hmm. And I thought that it was funny because I'm like, they are far from God. They're not representing God. And one thing about the higher power is he believes in forgiveness, right? Mm-hmm. So in love, when you are operating in a higher power, you're supposed to come in love and peace. And that's not what they represent. Absolutely. They represent the complete opposite, which is chaos and turmoil. They're not into healing and restoration. And I find it funny that they're using this idea of perfection and being the perfect person. And the more you dig into their personal lives, you see that they're far worse than you. Huh. They want to highlight you making bad financial decisions, and then to come to find out now that they hang around a bunch of felons the same exact way, right?
Right.
But they want you to
and oftentimes you find that they say one thing about you, but it turns out this is actually their life.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Like they project their actual lives You know, I don't have any illegitimate children out here, right? I don't have any kids that, you know, I denied. I don't have any kids that had to take me to court to establish parental rights with me, right? I've never had anything like that with me. I've never, you know, I've never been sex trafficked. I've never been, you know, R-worded. I've never been anything along those lines. Nothing like that. Nothing. Never been in the foster system. None of these things, but they will project all the painful things that have happened to them onto you and then try to tell the world these things. And you wonder where they get these crazy, deranged stories from, right? Turns out
it's like
these are things they experience. That's why they can tell you the story so well, because they've been through it themselves, right? But go ahead.
No, see, those you gotta watch people like that because they want you to go to jail for whooping their ass. You understand what I'm saying? That's really what they want. They trying to get you to, they trying to get themselves put in a corner somewhere because you're trying it. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing of playing victim, right? Is when somebody whoop your ass, you know, oh, do you see what happened to me? No, like so it's like you gotta outsmart them, right? So right now they're livid, right? They're pissed off, right? So they're gonna have their minions come out here and try it again. And what they don't know is what they know is they talking. They keep talking, right? But they don't have enough balls to come step to you in your face. No, you did meet breaking, so but y'all started off good and I don't know what happened. But she's smart enough to have minions then, because she had conscious, what's the boy's name? Knockout Media. He did go to Dita Rail's job.
Yeah, he did.
That's why you got to be very careful with these people, because you don't want to catch, and I'm being very serious. You don't want to catch a charge messing around with these people, because some things build up over time and you don't realize that it could be building up for years and years and years. And then one day you just explode. Like with Carrie, I don't know. I might, you know, she contained herself, because you could have did that to a person that could go postal on you. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you have to be very careful with those people. And, you know, you don't have to feed into it, but you have to be careful because they want you to react. They want to antagonize you so you can react. And then you're going to catch a charge for, you know, I don't, you know, because you got to remember, let's think about my son. You got me in mental anguish, right? I'm stressed out. I'm trying to take care of my kids. I'm going to work every day. You going around telling people that you looking for me. You following me, right?
Yeah.
You don't know my mental state. You don't know what I'm going through. What if I'm at a breaking point in my life?
Well, that's the thing, Eyes. I don't think they care about those kinds of things.
Exactly.
They don't care whether somebody's at that. As a matter of fact, that's what they want you to be, is at a breaking point. They want you to be in pain like they are. They want you to be as miserable as them. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't even reason with that, because that's what they want. They absolutely want to meet up with people who are at a breaking point so that they can play victim to you. Mm-hmm. Literally, they are forever victims, forever victimized by someone.
But
right?
I think
they purposely try to push people to a breaking point so that they can say, look how they did to me. Look what they did to me. Right. That's why I'm calling their job. That's why I'm calling their family members. Because look what they did to me. They absolutely do that.
So you have to be, and this is why you have to be comfortable in your own self. Like, if you know that there's a point where they may try to slander you and things of that nature, you have to have enough comfortability in yourself not to let it get to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not worth it. And I think they're done. I think that it's the end for them. I think it's enough people. They do have new people that are trying to regurgitate some stuff, but I don't think it's going to gain any traction. I mean, I think the run is over, and I think once you finish this series, it's going to go ahead and seal it up for them. They probably hit a couple more panels and talk shit and do whatever they want to do. But we know that you guys want to play the forever victim, which means that you're looking for me to react and everybody else to react. But we're not going to react. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to react the way you think we should, the way they think you're going to react. Right? So that's going to show even more of how they're able to manipulate, because they want to be seen as the victim, but they're the ones that's going around harassing people and looking up people's information and stalking people's children. You know what I'm saying? Which is very strange. It's very weird. They all in cahoots together. She was windmilling for Larry Reed. She didn't like that I said it. I said what I said about it. I said that you guys are weird. Why are you windmilling for Larry Reed? Now that Tasha K, where is she at now? She not over there no more, huh?
Right.
Huh?
Right. Now that Tasha K and
now that Tasha K, she tried to talk about Tasha K the other day. She tried to talk about Tasha K like, well, Cardi B is going to drain her. It doesn't matter. You're not hanging around Larry Reed no more. Where's Knockout Media? It's done. It's over with. You can't handle the fact that people call y'all out on y'all BS. And I said what I said. You're weird. And if you don't want to be called weird, stop hanging around weird people and stop doing weird stuff. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for you to be looking up anybody's kids. You know what I'm saying? Tend to your own children like everybody else does. If you gave your child up, that's not our fault. Go talk to Jesus about it.
I agree with that.
I don't know what to tell y'all. Don't be mad that you are hanging around a guy that's hanging out on TikTok that relates himself to Larry Reed. Larry Reed said that he was in the barnyards. You know what I'm saying? He's a disgusting person that has said very disgusting things. And that's who their claim to fame is. They thought that they was going to come over here and make us believe that they are celebrities because they hang around Larry Reed. Ain't nobody buying that bull BS.
Right.
And they didn't want you to talk about it.
Right. Which I did.
They didn't want you to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they were trying to come for you to quiet. Nah, you coming over here acting like you a celebrity and you hanging out with weirdos.
Right. And you're protecting.
They call it Holly weird. Holly weird. They all weird.
Well, this is kind of evidence of, you know, how they like to protect these people. I'll give you an example. So Anti also tried to fight with Daryl Moore until Daryl Moore let her know he's not playing with her. He will put her out here just like he put Breaking the Culture out.
Oh, he left.
She left information about her. And Anti backed off of him. She didn't want to fight with Daryl Moore. Every so often she might say something, you know, real quick, you know, not knowing that he's not going to see it, right? But other than that, she really does not come for him. But she was trying. She was trying to come for them for the longest time. And also she's still trying to come for let me see your transcript. So
I got a question for those. I got a question for those new ones, the new people that want to hang around. Now I'm gonna tell you about Conscious Energy. I think he just over there getting money. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. We're gonna play his video in just a few minutes.
I'm not trying to give him a pass, but I don't think, because I've never really seen Conscious Energy do some of the same things, but we don't know. He could be a little bit more sneakier, but I don't get that from him. But
hold on, let me make something clear.
Okay.
I've never seen Conscious Energy dox a single soul. I will say
I've never seen him do it.
Never seen him do that. But as far as scams, we're going to go over that in just a minute, because that's how your story started in the sector. Your story started in the sector from being scammed by one of AFW's biggest supporters and biggest minions, and somebody that Anti constantly protects. And let's take a look again when you sent us this, right? Mm-hmm. Where she is constantly protecting this man, constantly jumping out the window to protect Conscious Energy, even down to sending him money. Okay, $820. She did that twice.
And these are the people that were calling out Dr. Umar.
Exactly.
This is why
he's always protecting a scammer. Okay.
This is why
I call him a scammer. I'm not scared of conscious energy. Yes, so you have scammed, and you have attempted to scam us multiple times. We're gonna play it, and matter of fact, let's play that right now.
All right.
You can go ahead and talk. I'm gonna pull that up real quick.
So while she's pulling that up, I want y'all to ask y'all something. And this is for the newcomers that are new affiliates. Now I'm gonna ask her, why do you wanna, how can you spend all of that time talking about Dr. Umar, right? And him not having a doctorate degree, and him not having credentials, and him fundraising money and not allocating the money appropriately like he should have. Why is it that the men that you surround yourself with are no better than Dr. Umar? How ironic is that?
How ironic is
that right? Every single guy that you associate with is worse to me.
Exactly.
And the reason why I say worse is because they're so low bottom.
Right.
How is it that you as a woman can call out everybody else and try to take them away from their livelihood? Mm-hmm. But you hang around felons and weirdos.
Right. People who don't take care of their people who are the lowest of the low.
And this is not, if they was to keep
who you want to be around and call anti-fraud.
Right, you can keep it real. But
people that are smoking crack, right? Or at least have possession of crack, not with no intent to deliver. Just possession,
as a grown woman, why are you hanging around men that dress up like teddy bears?
Right.
Like as I'm gonna ask, so y'all can walk away. Just walk away. Walk away. You can walk away from these men. Yep. Walk away. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't hang out with you no more, sir. You're dressing up as Barney. I can't do it. I can't do this no more with you. You can walk away, seek counsel like everybody else. Right. If Gary Reed gave you $5,000, oh well, walk away. You don't have to protect him. Bye. You're weird. It's okay to tell him I can't hang out with you no more. Sorry.
Exactly.
I'm not going to get into the other men, but I'm going to stick to that because those are the main ones that, to me, played a pivotal role. Well, that one specifically, Barney, dressing up as Barney in freaking Smokey the Bear.
I'm going to put a link I'm putting a link to Make a Change's video, or at least his channel, in the description box here in the chat room right here. Okay. So you guys can go over and subscribe to Make a Change. Make sure you guys do hit the notification bell. That way you know every time he doesn't upload or if he ever decides to go live. He doesn't do live streams, but he does very intricate uploads. And you guys should take a look at that. Also take a look at his community wall. Okay, let's go ahead and play this video real quick because this is a very good video and proof of Conscious Energy's many, many, many attempts to scam the Black community, including what happened with Eyes is in here as well.
She's running a new scam. Before we take a look at this new scam, let's take a trip down memory lane and look at some of Conscious Energy's past scams.
I'm currently trying to start my own organization. I'm going to call it the Conscious Energy Outreach Party. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to build daycares for single mothers all around the nation. I'm currently right now living in Houston, so I'm going to start here in my hometown, and hopefully by the grace of God, by the grace of Allah, we can build up some momentum. So, we can, build the organization, real strong. Again, the organization is going to be called the Conscious Energy Outreach Party. And what I want to do is I would like to build daycares free daycares for single mothers, all around the nation. And I also would like to start the Conscious Energy Outreach Party Food Bank. And, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to buy millions of pounds of foods, vegetables, and fruit. And I want to give it out to families that are in need. And I haven't yet, this is all just an idea that I've been thinking about for the last couple of months, but I haven't yet, started to, actually promote the organization. I'm telling my subscribers, for the first time about, this organization, what I'm trying to do. But I have a vision that I would like to not only talk the talk, but walk the walk when it comes to the people of our community. And there's ways that we as a people can come together and help our community and build our community. But first, it starts with the young children at home. So for all those who would like to support this movement, I'm gonna leave a link down in the description. For my Cash App, it's Cash App $ Kids Are the Future. That's Cash App $ Kids Are the Future. All my subscribers, all the folks that's listening to me, I have a Cash App. As a matter of fact, I'm going to post the Cash App on the link when I finish this video. And all the people who support me, I would like y'all to donate, if you could. It was just $5, but we're trying to raise $10,000 because I would like to build a school and a daycare center for young poor mothers who can't afford to take their kids to daycare. I see it all the time. I was walking down the street one day and I saw this one girl at the bus stop. She had 3 kids with her. She was on her way to work. And I asked her, I said, "You take your kids to work with you?" She said, "Yeah, I have to take my kids to work with me because I can't afford daycare."
I'm sorry. I want to say something about this real quick. Because I know he motherfucker lying. Okay?
He ain't lying. This is real. This is real.
I know he lying. Okay, now I'm going to tell you this. Most states have welfare for stuff like this. You know what I mean? That is one thing that they absolutely have to provide.
I mean, they will get
yeah, since they put in the welfare to work program back in with Clinton in the Clinton administration, okay? That's how long ago this has been going on, okay? Since they put that in place, single mothers can easily go down to the good old welfare
office. It ain't hard to get food
and sign up for free daycare for their kids, okay?
They got daycare vouchers. And you get vouchers you go to the welfare work program.
Thank you. Now let's go ahead and keep it moving.
You don't gotta pay for daycare. You in welfare to work program. They gonna say you right to daycare. Did you hear when he said he wanted to get millions of pounds of food?
Millions of pounds of food, like
millions.
So y'all don't have. Put a one for somebody in Texas. Somebody let me know if they have actual food shelters, like food programs and stuff like that. Do they have anything like that?
Where is he going to house the food?
And go to like a place and pick up free food, or church that does that, or and stuff. Because we got that kind of stuff here in Delaware. So is that not a thing there where he has to buy millions of pounds of food to give out? And now he's seeing all these single mothers all over the place that ain't able to get that's not able to get free daycare. Like, okay, so let's go ahead and keep it moving.
Did we get to the hotel rooms yet?
Right, like what is going on here?
It is almost comical, and this is why I fought myself, because I shouldn't have been laughing at this. I shouldn't have never took watching Lennon Honor and Conscious Energy as comedy, because that's what I thought it was. I thought it was unbelievable.
Exactly.
Like I literally thought this was unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. Let me go ahead and play some more of this.
Myself, what is something good that I can do in the community to actually help people? And I said, hey, well, how about I open up a daycare and just offer my services free so young ladies and men can bring their kids to be watched properly, supervised, and so they can go to work. And maybe like I would love to like build like a basketball court so the kids can play on it, and maybe have like a tennis rack, and just do some different activities with the children. A lot of people been asking me how can they support my channel? How can they help me with the cause? And I'm gonna leave a link in the description box with my Cash App information. And if you want to donate $1, $5, $10, whatever you want to donate, that's fine. I'm trying to build a community center down here in Houston, Texas, and I'm doing it all self-funding myself. And we're gonna do some positive things for the community. So I had someone.
Well, wait, what happened to the daycare? What happened
from
so we ain't got the daycare yet, sir. Like what? Oh shit! I didn't mean to take that off. Hold on, let me put this back up. Okay, what happened to the daycare, sir? Like we ain't even get that yet.
Now, I mean,
you need
I
money
was
for
trolling. Let me tell you, Make a Change. I was just trolling, but shout out to Make a Change for even taking the time to put the effort into making these little mini movies.
Yes,
this is like a TV
so
show.
It really is. It really is. It's too funny. All right, let's go ahead and let this guy keep going.
Okay.
Rock Nation. And for some of y'all who don't know, Rock Nation is owned by Jay-Z. And I think Dame Dash, I don't know, but it's owned by Jay-Z. And they have a advertisement and promotion and marketing department. And my dream job for the family who don't know what Conscious Energy really want to do, I want to have something like what something like what Puff Daddy, P. Diddy has with Revolt TV and the Breakfast Club. I would like to raise the funds. I want the family to understand my vision and understand how your money is gonna be used for this movement. What I'm gonna do. What I would love to do is be able to hire 2 or 3 good college graduated professionals, and I would like to start my own news network, and it's gonna be called Conscious Energy Media. And from that platform, we are gonna bring all types of information from around the world to the people every day. It's gonna be real big once I get it off the ground. So that's what the $5 for those who subscribe to the Patreon, that's what the $5 will be going to, that helping to build that studio, helping to hire and put Black folks to work. Blessings. If you like to support the channel.
Now, if he would have, hold on, T-Pre.
Okay, hold on. Let me pause it. Go ahead.
He's one of them good old nickel and diamond scammers. He could have been, if he would have just gave me back his 820, he would have been underneath the radar for this level. Exactly. He could have kept nickeling and diamond.
He could have, because none of us would be talking about this.
Because we wouldn't be taking it serious. You'd be laughing. But now,
I'd be laughing. And honestly, I didn't even know, right? I wasn't subscribed.
Right, you wouldn't even have known.
Right, exactly. But it's the fact that he did what he did, and he kind of put eyes on him. Everybody started watching, like, what is really going on with you? This is why, Make a Change started journalizing this. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and keep going now. Let's keep going, because he has a lot more.
All right.
The channel, and you want to help me keep on bringing a message to the family, please support me on Cash App, Kids Are the Future, or support me on PayPal. I will leave a link in the description box. Simply click that link. It takes you straight to the site, and you can make your donation, $5, $10, $20, whatever you want to give. I'm using a large amount of the proceeds for a lot of kids who need toys this year. A lot of kids, unfortunate, excuse me.
You know he was
There's
lying.
a lot of unfortunate children who don't have means or access
he had to think of the answer.
Good food and having a good Christmas. So I'm gonna use the money that the family send me to help buy gifts for the less fortunate. And
Now,
again, family, I want to send my prayers to everybody in
Hold on,
Houston right now that
What'd
don't.
you say?
How many times is he gonna lick these lips?
Girl, my lips getting dry looking at that shit.
I'm getting dehydrated.
I'm getting dehydrated looking at him, child.
His own body can't take the fact that he's
His
lying.
body is reacting. His body is literally reacting to him lying. Like,
all right, go ahead.
He is having chemical reactions right in our face. Okay.
Don't have no power. Folks around Texas, Dallas, San Antonio, Amarillo, who going through a snowstorm right now, and they got it real rough. So any donations that I get from the family tonight, whether you donate in the super chat or the Cash App, I will be donating all my proceeds to try to help some of the families in Houston buy water and buy food. A lot of people, because in Houston, the water company cut off the water, and a lot of people got pipe damage. They roofs caved in, and it's just real sad what's going on right now in Texas. So I hope all y'all can send y'all prayers out to the folks in Texas, man, that's affected, by this catastrophe. That being said, thank you, Brother Black Anonymous, for putting the link. If you want to donate to the channel, fam, you can donate through the Cash App. Kids are the future. If you have PayPal, you can support through PayPal at Wells Fargo Pack. If you go to the description, the links are there. So I want to thank all the family in advance. Thank you for everybody who donated to the Super Chat. And if you still want to donate and you just ain't have time to get your credit card or whatever, you still want to support the channel, you can support the channel through Cash App, $ Kids Are the Future, or through our PayPal. I did leave a link in the description, so after the video is over, if you want to click that link and help the channel, I really appreciate that, family. We are in the process of going out to LA. As a lot of y'all know, there has been a mass exodus of people living in California moving to Houston, Texas. And a large part of that is because of the virus and of the pandemic and the loss of jobs. Not only down here in Houston, because it's been catastrophic down here in Texas also. A lot of people have lost their jobs. But there are a lot of needy people in LA that live on Skid Row. So a real nice brother is going to be flying me out to LA in the coming up weeks here, coming up month or so. And we're going to be helping 20 families with room and board, medical assistance, and providing food and knapsacks and things of that nature for the homeless people on Skid Row. We're going to try to help 20 families, and that's anybody that's there, that's struggling right now. So I'm trying to come up with the funds to be able to take on this huge task. As up to right now, family, it's looking like I may
maybe I could be wrong about this, but are full-fledged families living on Skid Row? I mean, maybe it's something I'm missing. I don't know.
I mean, we can look into it, but
I was gonna say I'm about to look this up.
Along with the millions of pounds of food,
I would rather get them some
the
help from their
daycare
state.
centers.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why do y'all got these kids living on the street, right? We need to get some shelters or something opened up for these kids. If children and full-fledged families are living on Skid Row, I have no idea. Hey, Jay Dunn, if that's what's really going on, I'm confused, girl. Okay, but let's go ahead and keep it moving.
I'm just mad that I'm so upset with myself that I came into this sector laughing. You understand?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like lending honor and conscious energy, I was just laughing, and then to be led into the dooms of hell.
Right.
It's like a trick from the enemy. You see how the enemy work?
Right.
Because I wasn't expecting that.
Right, exactly.
But
Exactly.
let's continue.
Yeah, I want to start with this where Spotum says, last time I checked, there are homeless families in Houston. Right. So why wouldn't you take and help 20 homeless families,
He said,
you know, in Houston,
friend,
or bring these supplies to like a woman's shelter in
how you
Houston?
gonna get the supplies there if your friend fly you in on an
He gotta
airplane?
fly you in. How
you gonna get gifted an airplane ticket and then you gonna bring all of these supplies,
millions of pounds, right?
millions of pounds of food?
let's go ahead. Let's keep going.
Shut up, excellent. I've already laughed at myself. I understand humiliation, but
Right,
this is, oh God, let's go.
Hey, too big. Okay, let's go. Make a change, man. You are the GOAT.
Did you? He went back to 2019. It is 2024.
I done wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far. Okay. Let's go. We're gonna go ahead and go.
Need maybe about $10,000 in order to get this off the ground. Now, keep in mind, family, with these 20 families, we're going to be providing room and board for 2 days. We're also going to be providing their medical care, and we're going to be providing, you know, toiletries and, you know, for the ladies who need things, you know, of that nature, we're going to be providing those things. And for those single moms who have kids, we're going to be providing food and toys. So it's going to be like a little mini Christmas. So I'm asking the good Lord above to give me the strength and give me the drive to do this. I've never.
I cannot stop laughing, man.
Like, why would you put a homeless? Listen, if you homeless in DC, they gonna put you in a hotel until they find you somewhere to go.
That's a fact.
They don't put you in a hotel for 2 days and they tell you to leave, and he gonna buy you gifts and presents. And then you're going to have to go back out to Skid Row after 48 hours. Like, what the heck? And that's why I should be laughing.
For 2 days. I was like, what?
This can't be real. Like, am I really listening to this?
Oh, my God. I'm trying not to laugh, and it's so hard not to laugh.
All right, sorry.
All right, okay, let's go.
This is a lighthearted way to end this part. Is CE?
It really is.
CE, this is why she need him, because he can pull on people's heartstrings.
He can.
Even though he's a scammer, he know how to finesse his way into other sectors and do the same exact thing. Jesus.
Yes.
Shout out to the beast that being in here right now. They talk shit about me and say, that's why you lost your 820, you dummy. But then they'll glorify him. This shit is fun.
We're going to go over these scams after this, but let's go ahead. I'm writing them down. I'm writing them down.
Okay.
I've never, no creative name said, let me know how I can support. Well, brother, the best thing you can do, brother, creative name, is support us through the Cash App. $ kids are the future. The app has to be competitive. People have to want to sign up. So it may be similar to a Facebook, similar to a TikTok, or similar to an Instagram. But family, we have to raise $2 million to get this app started, because the app is going to take a lot of technical design. You have to pay to be on the Play Store. You have to pay to be on the Apple Store in order to get this app out to the world. But we're going to take it one step at a time. All right, family? That being said, family, please donate to the Super Chat. Please donate to Cash App, $ kids are the future, and support this idea. Let's make this idea a reality. We're not talking about no fakes.
As of today, none of this has materialized. Conscious Energy has provided zero proof showing that any money collected was actually used for the intended purpose. He now has a new scam, a new hustle.
I'm going to be going to the studio in the next week or two, and I'm gonna be doing Thriller and Billie Jean. I'm gonna do Thriller first. I'm probably gonna drop the song on Halloween night. We're also gonna be shooting a music video to Thriller. It's gonna be a full cinematography, full costumes, and I don't want it to be a cheap knockoff version of Thriller. So I really want to do Michael Jackson do justice. So the video is going to cost about $70,000 to $80,000. And I'm going to tell you why and why I need y'all help to make this video a reality. I want my music video to mimic the original Thriller, and I want it to be high quality. So I'm asking y'all if y'all can please donate. I'm gonna be starting a GoFundMe.
After this video, he made a follow-up video announcing that the GoFundMe was created.
I just set up the GoFundMe if you would like to see your brother Conscious Energy do the Thriller music video. We're gonna need a little help because we're gonna be hiring actors, sound directors, makeup artists, backup dancers, and other people that we need to make this music video a reality.
Looking at the GoFundMe, we see he's asking for $75,000 to supposedly recreate the Thriller music video and movie. So here's the question for Conscious Energy. Knowing your track record, why should anyone donate to any project you are supposedly working on? What happened to the money you collected for the social media?
Oh, shit. We shouldn't be laughing at this, man. This so...
Not $11 out of $75,000.
And he's supposed to be doing this Thriller in October.
He did it. He did it last year. He only sang like karaoke to it. Remember?
No, that was two different things. He said he was debuting the karaoke, but the video was supposed to come in October. So I'm curious to know how much money is in that guy that goes. Did he cash it out? That's what I really want to know.
That's
now.
a good question too.
Did he cash that $11 out?
Who gave him that $11?
Maybe Brother Dippin.
It was probably Brother Dippin.
Oh shit!
All right, let's go.
Media app. If I'm not mistaken, during the debate with Tiff P, your Wi-Fi glitched, but it sounded like you said you collected $6,000 or $7,000.
There's just so many questions. Also, I think you communicated in one of your videos that your goal is to raise $2 million in 3 months. It's almost been about 3 weeks. You did mention, I think as late as April 24th, that you raised a few $1,000s towards your $2 million goal. You also stated that you have advertisers on deck, which is awesome. I do know D. Durrell to be one of them. Another gentleman that you identified is Dip. I don't want to misstate his name. But, I just had these questions. How much money do you have already put towards this $2 million goal? What is your investment? Have you put any skin in the game?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, well, I want to make sure my internet connection is good. First off, I want to say, Tiffany, I respect your passion. I respect your passion. And I understand what you mean when you say we have been burnt so many times. See, let's understand something, family. Because of Umar Johnson and FDMG, a lot of people in the Black community have feel a certain kind of way when somebody in our community, particularly Black folk, come up with some kind of idea. There's been a lot of scammers in the community, Brother Polite, a lot of people. It goes back a long time. So I understand the people being apprehensive about what my agenda may be. Now, she asked me about the money. She asked me about how much money have I collected. I said I collected a few $1,000s, so forth and so forth. Transparency. Now, number one, I told y'all that I will always be I know that.
Yo, Conscious, your Wi-Fi going out.
Oh, that is hilarious.
It's like every time his face freezes.
I don't.
Huh?
It's like every time his face freezes, it's always the face of a scammer.
Right.
Like just his face alone. Like I feel. Oh
Right.
God.
All right, we're gonna get through this, guys. We're gonna get through this.
Okay.
I feel like I owe an explanation to somebody who hasn't donated and to somebody who don't want to see it happen anyway. Now, as far as people like you
Conscious, you there?
$6,000 or $7,000. Is it buffering or just me buffering?
Yeah, it's pretty much buffering on your end, but you good now. I'll pause your time.
Okay. So I raised a few $1,000s, not a whole lot of money.
So what happened to that money? Since you said you are no longer working on the app because people are hating, did you return that money? How much of your own money are you putting towards this? Because after 2 years, you still haven't paid that lady back. According to her, you have only paid back about $100 in $5 or $7 increments, which she practically have to beg you to send.
No, but I got a question. This money keeps being an issue, but it's only $820. How long?
He don't send me. Yeah, he don't send me a lot. It's little small stuff, and that's just something small. He'll send me he'll send me a small cash app. That's it. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just like nibble by nibble, piece by piece. That's all.
But how long has that been for?
He probably been. I don't do it every week. It's probably been like 6 months, maybe. I have to go back, but I mean, I don't even know why he came up here to say that. But I'm not even worried.
What are you getting? $2? I don't.
Girl, probably like $5, $7
Right.
or something. Nothing major, like something little. You know what I'm saying? Just chipping off the 820. You know what I'm saying?
But he's been consistently doing that every week.
If I send him a cash, like when I send him one, he will send it back to me. Yes. I don't do it every week. You know what I'm saying? It might be sporadic, but he will send it back to me.
Let me touch on something really quick. Since I'm one of the people who initially made a video on this, the notion that this lady, Antonia, scammed CE into scamming her out of $820 is just asinine. The main person who has been spreading this narrative has been Anti-Afros Bengali. Here are the facts about this situation. When this initially happened, the lady notified CE on the same live, which he quickly ended. She also tried to notify him via the comments, which he ignored, but replied to comments before and after hers. She sent him a Cash App refund request, which he also ignored. She also tried calling him via the phone number he uses during his live streams for his guests to call in. She didn't get him, but she left a voicemail. She also texted him and emailed him via Instagram. So after almost a week and no reply from Conscious Energy, she made a video and uploaded it to YouTube. I believe Conscious Energy thought this would just go away. He didn't anticipate this lady making a video and posting it on YouTube. Once people started to question him about the situation, he lied. First, he said he gave the money to the guy who was developing the app.
The money already went out to the account to the guy I'm paying to design my app, which is $150,000.
Then several weeks later, he said Cash App ate the money.
Man, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, look, man. Let's go ahead and sit the record straight, man. I ain't never stole no money from nobody. I done got a plethora of donations from people. The only person I done had a problem with, Q Butter, is Eyes. She is the only person I have ever had a problem with. And the reason, and hold on, I'm gonna tell you, the reason why I couldn't refund the money is because when she sent the money, the Cash App ate up the money. So she wanted me to give her a refund for money I don't even have.
He was on a panel during a live stream and he explained what that meant. His bank account was in the negative, and once the money was deposited into his bank account, it was deducted to cover the negative balance. But here's the question. If he was collecting money for the app, why was the money going into his personal bank account? Also, why would he deposit money into an account that's in the negative? I could think of one good reason. The money wasn't going towards building an app. It was going towards his personal expenses. In the video for this new scam, he said he's going to be transparent. However, we heard this before. CE was doing a live, and in that live, he was collecting money for Christmas gifts for kids. Some people started to catch on to what Conscious Energy was doing, which resulted in someone calling into the live and telling Conscious Energy it would be good to provide his audience with proof that he was actually doing the things he was collecting the money for.
Cash App kids are the future. So the family that want to donate to the movement, if you don't want to donate in the super chat, you can donate to my Cash App. We buying gifts for kids, making sure that some of the less fortunate gonna have meals tomorrow and toys under the tree. So any monies that y'all donate to your boy Conscious Energy, we will be helping the less fortunate with those proceeds.
And I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. What you should do is when you start handing out gifts or whatever you're doing with the kids, man, put that on your channel, man. Videotape that. You know?
Well, just the thing about that, brother. See, I was raised in the old church. I was raised that when you give a homeless man $5 on the street, you don't go home and tell nobody what you did. You just do it out the kindness of your heart. And that's a good idea, but I don't want it to look like that I'm giving away toys on camera just to show people that, try to get some kind of views. I find that very classless. I'm the type of guy that just goes out and just gives away, the presents and whatnot. I don't think it's appropriate to not only film kids, getting gifts, but homeless people. Because I see a lot of people do that. They go like politicians. You'll see politicians go out and give away a couple of turkeys. And as soon as the camera go, they go right back to being the mean, malicious, vindictive person that they are. You get what I'm coming from?
What is a
vandicious? If you're gonna do charity,
you know how to be vandicious.
Vandicious. Yo,
vindictive, vandicious, and all that.
Does Megan change? Does he have a Cash App? Because this might low key be a masterpiece, right?
This is a masterpiece for sure. I don't know if he does or not.
Because I've never seen
in the chat. Make a change if you do. Yeah, we gotta get him some money.
Go ahead.
You should do it out the kindness of your heart, and nobody should know about it but you and God.
But in this new age of social media, when you got people like Umar Johnson, sometimes you have to do that, and you have to explain why you're doing it now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't normally do this, but this is why I'm doing it, because you got so many people scamming. I want y'all to see that this is what I do, and I'm telling the truth, because so many people are scamming and lying.
Right.
That's what we're in. That's the days we're in nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I understand where you're coming from, brother. Well, I'm gonna get another phone call because, like I say, we're already going on about 2 hours. Do you got a question or a comment,
he
brother?
just ignored that.
Yeah, I got a comment. And
just like how he ends the
like,
live.
well, I'm gonna go ahead and take the next call.
It's about the previous call that you just had.
Hold on, brother. Let me grab my phone charger. Hold on 1 second. All right, I got my phone charging now. Okay, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, my comment is about the previous call just now when the brother had suggested that you recorded, you giving out the gifts.
Right.
Or whatever. And I feel like, man, that would be a good thing, man. And at the same time, it's like you said, Umar Johnson, he ain't, we don't see nothing with him doing nothing like that on the streets. He ain't giving out, and we don't see that.
Right.
So it would be good that since you're getting donations, that we can see that. Don't
right.
be like Umar Johnson, because it kind of sounded like some Umar shit. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get donations, but you can't show us. Come on, that sounds like Umar shit.
Well, brother, let me clarify. Let me clarify a little bit what I meant by that. It's one thing to give out toys to needy families. It's one thing to give out food to needy families, but it's another thing to record somebody who's doing bad and then take that footage and put it on YouTube and then try to make money off of it. I don't think that's, you know, a good thing to do in my perspective.
Well, look, listen to me. It's about your intentions and it's about your heart.
It's funny because I thought the first thing I thought about, right, is especially with the community work I'll be doing. I've never put it on YouTube, but if I did, all I have to do, if I'm monetized, all I have to do is not monetize that video. You know what I'm saying? Or if I posted photos, right, of something like that on my community wall, how would I be making money off of that? You know what I mean?
You want more people to support what you're doing, right?
Exactly.
If they see the result of what you're doing, you can have people sign disclosures.
Start donating to you. Exactly.
Is it okay if we share your photos to our website? People want to see things like that.
Absolutely. We almost done.
To do that, but it's just about receipts. You know what I'm saying? There's people out here that's poor, that's hurting, and they really concerned based off of your information, and they want to donate their hard-earned money. People want to see receipts, just like they want to see receipts from Umar Johnson. The same thing apply to him, apply to you. I feel like, fuck Umar, I ain't got no love for Umar, but I do got love for your channel. And
right.
What I'm saying is, and I'm going to say this officially, don't be like Umar Johnson.
Well, I tell you what, brother. This is what I'm gonna do. Okay, I would love like people like you, man, who think the way that you do, very intelligent brothers. Like after I do the little Christmas thing, I don't mind like sending the footage, like people who supporting me. I don't mind sending the footage like to you, and you can share it. But I wouldn't want to share certain personal things, on my channel. But, I would be happy, because look, I'm an open book. That's why you can call my cell phone. You can get in contact with me. I'm not hiding anything. I'm an open book. But, excuse me, if you would like to see the footage, I wouldn't mind sending you the footage.
Notice how he has literal chemical reactions when he's lying. Like his whole body start choking up, he start coughing, all this stuff when he lying. Like, what? Okay.
What you do with that footage is on you. But what I'm saying is, whatever footage that I do take doing these things, I don't mind sending that footage to my supporters. But the only thing I'm saying is that I will not take that kind of footage and put it on YouTube and try to make money off of it. That's all I'm saying, brother. Okay.
That makes sense. But like, you don't have to do footage. It could be like maybe just photographs and the other stuff.
Right. I understand, brother.
There's a lot of ways around it, but people just want receipts.
Right. Okay, so like taking pictures and stuff like that. Yeah, we can definitely do something like that. And I agree with you. And I believe, because see, one thing about me that I'm different from Umar is that I'm transparent. I'm very transparent and I'm an open book. And if anybody has a question for Conscious Energy, or if anybody has a question, they can call, they can DM me, whatever question, whatever they got. But yeah.
Child.
Okay. That was just another example of the cronies that are part of the AFWs. Yep. My story is, there are people that have went through things that I believe where they kind of received, prying into their medical records or just exposing them. But we just want to highlight how they will go after anyone that doesn't agree with their rhetoric. And Conscious Energy is just another example of how their associations, should we say, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's honorable mentions, like I said.
Another honorable mention, right? Mm-hmm. So the AFWs were brought. You got to remember, what is the acronym for AFW? The Anti-Fraud warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest frauds
in the whole sector, in the entire
sector.
Is her biggest minion, and she literally supports
in the sector. Is there any other scammers in the sector?
There's none.
There is no other scammer. So we could put the sector scammer is associated with the acronym that they use for their group, Anti-Fraud Warriors. How ironic is that?
How does the top anti-fraud warrior get caught that's so against fraud get caught in actually sending a fraud twice the money that he defrauded someone for? Twice she sent it.
And they are supposed to be upstanding public servants.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that some of the most devious people work for the government. You know that, right?
Exactly.
So for you to make it seem like you're above reproach when we know that, let's be very clear, right? How did the people who was working for the government, she wants to separate herself from those individuals, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how many years did it take for them to be exposed?
Exactly.
And these are supposedly public servants.
Mm-hmm.
How ironic is that?
How ironic.
How ironic is it that you're trying to separate yourself from the very people that you associated with?
Exactly. The very person that you literally hate, right? Umar Johnson, you hate him with a passion. You have been attacking and stalking that man for over 10 years. Okay? Over 10 years. It's 2024. She started at least, I want to say 2014. And I think it was before then. You guys can.
Now, I don't know if you know about this, but I don't know if rumor has it that she may actually have met this guy before.
I heard that too.
And I don't know if she's just disgruntled.
I heard that too. I don't have any proof of that.
You don't have no proof of it.
Yeah, I don't have anything on that. I don't even have anybody talking about it, right?
I don't know what their next tactic is going to be to defraud the people from the truth. For any newcomer, you know, because now they want to take the show on the road and go to other sectors and put your.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't you find it funny that they want to talk about you and your endeavors, but they're listening to a dominatrix talk about you?
Right.
To me, that was. I said, hold up, and I'm like, hold up, this doesn't make any sense. Like, she's the person that gave her the kick list.
Right.
How you gonna ridicule her, but not ridicule the agent? That's an agent.
Because they play mental games. That's why. They don't care about any of this stuff. They don't care about morals. They don't care about what makes sense, right? None of that stuff, you know, like reasoning this makes no sense to them.
But and this is what I figured out.
You know, they play mental mind games.
Games.
Psychological games with people. That's just it. It doesn't matter.
That's why they want to get into other people's channels and take over their chat, because what I've been noticing is with the newcomer that's coming in that wants to broadcast, I'm not going to say the person's name. You should probably know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember some of these, especially other sectors, their chats are more loyal and they follow blindly the same way. So they won't, it's like they can't think for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the type of, they're looking for those type of content creators to like continue on with it. And I just don't know, like, how much, like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Beautiful Bernice says, I heard that they met in a college where she used to work. Okay, that's something that I didn't hear, but I did hear that they had met at one time. I didn't have like it wasn't like on a live stream or in the chat where I could pull that evidence, right? But now we got that, so I just put that up there. But I'm sorry, you were saying something, Eyes?
No, I was just saying that with them, for the newcomers that's coming in that want to try to slander the sector or slander the people here, and they don't know us personally, you know, I just want to know why you would be so open to follow someone blindly that you haven't did any research on. Because clearly you haven't did any research, or you're a crash dummy and you can't think for yourself, because it wouldn't take a rocket science to figure out that this is a bunch of BS, right?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say this, birds of a feather flock together. You understand what I'm saying? There's some people out here that are just like these people, unfortunately, right? And they're going to get along just fine until one of them, snakes end up biting each other at some point. You put them all in a pit, eventually they're going to bite each other, right?
Well, I guess that would be kind of.
I'm here for it, to be honest.
Yeah, let them put them all in the pit.
Let them do that. I can care less what this one person who's irrelevant to our sector would have to say about anybody in our sector. I don't watch that person. Okay. I'm not interested in what they have to say. And I can care less. They can talk about me, you, everybody else in this sector all day. As a matter of fact, I made it very clear when I did this series, all of them can continue to lie and talk trash and say all the things that they want. But the truth is here. We've put out the evidence and the facts, right? And we've proven those things beyond the shadow of a doubt. It doesn't matter what they try to say. They can run, tell that, say I'm going to file reports. I'm going to do this. Do your thing by all means, honey. While I'm on vacation next month, right? Go on and do your thing, right? Do your thing. Make sure, get out here, lie to the people, tell the people whatever you want to tell them. But the bottom line is the evidence has been proven. We've already shown the facts, right? We got a little bit more to do on Thursday, where I'm actually going to solidify and finalize the series, right? With the last episode of the evidence room, we're going to go ahead and present a couple of things. I have it written down. A couple of things we're going to present. We're going to talk about what Svengali means. We're going to talk about any of the Archibald lawsuit stuff. We're going to talk about the LGBTQ receipt from you being anti-LGBTQ. We're going to get that. We're going to get the receipt from CTV, right, of Rev G.
Yes, I'm going to have to do some digging because it's there.
We're going to get the receipt of breaking, hitting Michael's grandmother, right? We're going to get all of these things and gather this stuff up and discuss this stuff, and any final other receipts that anyone else has for me, go ahead and send that stuff. That way I can get that stuff geared up, prepared, and this will give me enough time to prepare all of this for the Thursday show. And then that'll be the final. We'll call that the funeral show, right? Because that's it. We're done. We don't have no other reason to talk about these people at this point. I have no intentions of talking about them anymore. I don't care what they think, what they say. I'm not interested. I won't even be looking to know what they're talking about, Because I'll be too busy anyway.
Mm-hmm. I think it might be cool. I know you better wrap it up. I don't know if anyone is interested in it or anyone to actually read the book.
The Svengali book.
The Svengali to actually read.
That's what I was talking to Nikki about. I wanted her to get to do that again. But
like do the book club and we can all read it together. Maybe
we can do that. We can set up a book club, and I'll ask Nikki to come in on it.
Because I know maybe Nikki could spearhead it. Because in my book club we do a book, and then like we meet every Sunday, and the person that's in charge of the book club, they actually do like a PowerPoint presentation for that chapter, and then they let someone that's reading the book kind of oversee that chapter as we discuss it. Because we need to really dig into why she would call herself a Svengali. You know what I mean? Why would she call herself that? Like, what would be the purpose of doing that?
Exactly. Because that is actually a thing. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
For her anyway, and others too. Have been actual Svengalis out here, right? But we'll talk about that. I think that's really important to this series, and kind of putting the truth about that in here. Any final thoughts from you? I'm getting tired. It's almost
thank you for letting me share my story. There's I mean, you know, we could go on for hours, like
we could
recalling every little thing. But I think what I got from it was, you know, everyone is targeted a different way, and there's many people in this sector that have their own story. Some people may not share their story, but I will say that there's always someone listening. And at this point, T-Pre, shout out to you, because this is the prelude to a dissertation. This actually can be used for psychology and academia, studying group dynamics and how leadership and how people are manipulated and how people respond. So even for those that are part of the AFWs, I would challenge you to reflect on your own ideology and your why are you participating in that specific group. You know, it's no hard feelings. I don't know you guys personally, and I have no reason to personally attack you, but I would challenge those people to ask themselves, out of all of the things that you could do in your personal life, why do you spend so much time concentrating on prying into other people's business and targeting their children? Because that's what you did to me. And there's other people that could say the same thing. And I'm going to leave it at that. And shout out to the sector. I will say this. You guys are super talented. Shout out to T-Pre. You know, this is thought-provoking. Shout out to Make a Change, to be thought-provoking. We may be a smaller sector, but you guys are very smart and intelligent. And even for the ones that we don't, you know, even though we're talking about the op or the opposition, you know, shout out to the sector for being able to present information in an intelligent manner where it can be received by various demographics. So I would say thank you, T-Pre, for taking the time to even do this. And thank you, Make a Change, for taking the time to actually present something that everybody can actually look at and enjoy. So shout out to you.
I want to give a special shout out to KKC for the receipts that he provided for me and mines, as well as Grown Man, and the excellent receipts that they provided as well, and others that also provided information. Steph Collins, I want to thank you for everything. I want to particularly thank the beautiful Bernice as well for some of the things that she gave to me, as well as me and Miss Thangs. I want to thank you in particular as well. All of your support behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, I cannot thank you enough for that. Every single one of you have been here just supporting the channel, supporting the show, sending cash apps, sending thank yous, sending emails, and, you know, just telling me keep going. Thank y'all so much. I really, really appreciate it. Okay. This was not easy to do. It really was not. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of energy. And yeah, we're almost done, guys. We have one more show to go. That show will be the receipt show, where we are going to put up the final receipts in here and any other information that we're going to talk about. If the person that I was going to interview on next Saturday wants to hit the panel on Thursday, you are perfectly welcome to do that, to kind of give your portion of the story as well. But again, I think that this story has been fire. I don't think we really necessarily need a sixth story, okay? However, there are many, many other stories out here other than the 5 people that I have already interviewed, okay? There are many, many other victims, okay? And, you know, we all just kind of know that. And, you know, that's unfortunate. Germ on the board, I will let you know. I do believe I know who has that, okay? So I will be hitting that person up behind the scenes in order to get that information for you, okay? And I will try my best to put that into the receipt show this coming Thursday, okay, to make sure that you have that proof and that information as well, okay? Of course, if there's any pictures of your kids, I'm going to make sure that that's redacted information, okay? But I will do my best to get that because I think I know who has it, okay? Just based on the conversations I've had, I do believe I know who has it, and I do believe I can get a hold of it if it's there, okay? Definitely appreciate every single one of you guys for being in the building. Make sure you guys do hit the like button on the way out. And guys, we are going to end this right here. I do truly appreciate all of you for being here tonight. And yeah, let's cleanse ourselves. Let's get ourselves ready for the work week. And, you know, we'll come back and convene with this on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will discuss the final receipts of the show. I truly appreciate all of you for coming out tonight. And thank you guys for watching.